My name is Anthony Brian Logan. Thank you for joining me on tonight's show. It's been a while since I've been on the stream doing live call-ins. So we got live call-ins tonight, and I thank y'all for joining. You could be anywhere in the whole wide world, but you're right here with me, and I definitely appreciate you for that. Please get the video a like, thumbs up, share it, subscribe if you're not subscribed already, all that good stuff. We got a lot to talk about. It's been a whole lot going on. The main thing that is on the table for today would be, I guess, a debate from last night. Dumpster fire doesn't even really do it justice. I mean, that was a terrible debate. Absolutely horrible. Not good. Just a really bad time. Softball. Nobody really had any. It was just bad. You know, the Democrats, I guess it's good for me that the debate was bad because they have no chance of being able to win. And that's good for me, and I'm sure it's good for y'all as well, so it's all good for us. It's just sad that they don't have anybody that can run. At least let it be a fair fight. Because all you're going to do right now is have Trump beat up a tomato can they're going to put in there. This guy, Joe Biden, talking about, I'll beat him like a drum. Oh, really, sir? I can't tell. You beating yourself like a drum. Your mind is beating you like a drum. You don't know what's going on. You don't know if it's Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, 2017, 15. You think you're still the vice president. You don't know what's going on, sir. Everybody else wants to be a super socialist to the max. We'll talk about all that good stuff from the debate and more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And I thank y'all for joining. I definitely appreciate you. I'm excited to be back doing my, in the studio at the house, taking calls, all that good. So we'll take calls a little bit later. But I appreciate y'all for being here 100%. It's a lot to get into for sure. That's 100% certain. Ain't no question about that. The debate, of course, is going to be one topic of many. But then what else we got? We have, the Dallas shooting. Very unfortunate situation where the young lady got shot through her window at the house. Now, there was apparently a gun involved. That's no excuse for the situation to happen, but it gives you a little bit more understanding as to why it happened. Because first, I'm like, okay, he just shot in the window for no reason. Did he see anything? Like, what's going on? The whole situation was handled poorly from the beginning, and the ending could have been prevented. If you're coming for a welfare check, why not just go to the door, knock on it, and be like, is everything okay? Whatever. You're going to just sneak around and then go up to the window. Listen, if you're not identifying yourself, if it's at nighttime, I can't see you, you're not identifying yourself, you're sneaking around my house, I might have to go get that thing too. So, no, it's not an excuse, but yes, it gives you some more information as to what happened. Now, we're going to see how that case ends up. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I got to back up a little bit to explain. In Fort Worth, there was a police officer, a white guy. Of course, the race does matter because that's why the case is important at all. That's why anybody cares about it. But it was a white guy, a police officer who apparently had only been in a job for like less than a year. He apparently was called out to a house to perform a wellness check. The neighbor called the non-emergency line and said, hey, it's late at night. My neighbor's door is open. Can you guys go check and make sure everything is okay? It was not, somebody's breaking in there and this, that, and the third. From what the guy who called the police said. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not. I'm just going off of what has been reported so far. So the one officer, I think he has a partner with him or another officer with him. They go to the house, but rather than knocking on the door that's wide open or announcing themselves as police, they kind of like sneak around the house. I'm not sure what they are trying to do, what they're looking for. If it's a wellness check, why are you like sneaking around the house and not identifying yourself? But anyway, the officer in question gets to a window and apparently he says, put your hands up, freeze or whatever, but it's a window. It's like, it's outside your house. Maybe the person inside can't hear or can't see it's a police officer. So they got their gun, ready to protect themselves. And then the officer shoots through. Now, what probably happened is this. The officer goes to the window, sees the gun, gets scared, and just accidentally shoots the weapon. That's probably what happened, because if you're trying to end a threat like Brandon Tatum said, you would shoot multiple times. You wouldn't just shoot once and then have that be it. You understand? So, yeah, the officer just got scared, shouldn't really been out there, and is going to be punished for his crime for sure. But the whole gun thing, it lets you know why the officer got spooked and did what he did, although it's no excuse. But we're going to see how that whole thing plays out. I just want the same energy that's paid, the same energy that's exerted in this particular case, the same attention that is paid to this case to be paid to other cases that are just as bad, that do not involve a white police officer and a black victim that's innocent. That's all I want. I just want some similar energy to be where it's supposed to be. If it's an injustice, it's an injustice, right? Just like your man LeBron said, an injustice anywhere is an injustice everywhere. That's what he said, right? But is that true? Is LeBron James being serious when he says that an injustice anywhere is an injustice everywhere? If he is, I can't tell. He had no problem talking about LeBron James, Eric Garner, all these people. LeBron James, Eric Garner. I'm tripping. He had no problem talking about Eric Garner, Donald Trump, and all these people that had been victimized by police. You know, no problem doing that at all. He had the I Can't Breathe t-shirt. He had all that kind of stuff, right? But then when it comes to Hong Kong and their protesters getting stomped in the head by the Chinese police, one protester got shot with an actual live bullet. I don't think they died, but it did get shot. Also in China, just the general human rights violations, the slave-like conditions at their factories. You got the Muslim minority that are put into concentration camps in 2019 that has been caught on videotape and displayed to the whole world. That's not really a problem. That's not an injustice. But I thought that an injustice anywhere was an injustice everywhere. It'd be hilarious to see him talk about, oh, we got to just worry about America. Oh, we got to worry about America for real? Well, what about all those other places? I thought that an injustice anywhere was an injustice everywhere. What happened? You got to focus on America. Now we got to be nationalists. I thought being a nationalist was racist. It's going to be interesting to see how this whole thing really plays out. 100%. But that is how the left does. They put out certain things that they say are appropriate to do as far as any kind of protest, any kind of, civil unrest. They attach it to certain things, but when that thing kind of interferes with their money and how they're able to make a living, all of a sudden it's not a problem anymore. All of a sudden it's, hey, I'm not a politician. Oh, you're not a politician, huh? But it's an article out there floating around. If I could find that, I'll link to it in the box that says 10 times LeBron has stood up against Donald Trump. So LeBron James, big time basketball player, you have no problem speaking about Donald Trump over and over and over and over again. All these incidents of a black person being shot, killed by police. You don't have no problem talking about that, putting stuff on your jersey, your t-shirt, your shoes, or whatever. But then when it comes to China, oh no, I'm an American. I'm a nationalist. I don't believe in talking about injustices everywhere. I'm only worried about here in the United States. Interesting how that works. But it's all about money. That's right, G. Carjala. It's all about money. That's it. If it wasn't about money, then LeBron would pretty much say whatever he wants. It was funny how he tried to cover up his different viewpoint on the whole thing, talking about, well, you could have waited a week to send the tweet because we had a hard time. We were over in China, and if you weren't in China, you wouldn't know. It's like, nah. You don't do it like that. If you really want to be about the social justice warrior life, be about it. If you really want to be an activist, if you really want to be, quote unquote, more than a basketball player, be about it for real. Don't just do it when you got safety, when you got comfort. Do it when it might really impact you. Do it when it really might impact the NBA in a negative way. Do it for real. Like Enes Kanter. Enes Kanter, if you don't know, is also a basketball player. He's from Turkey. He's spoken out against Erdogan. They tried to kidnap him. Imagine this. They tried to kidnap this man, Enes Kanter, 7 foot tall, 200 something pounds. They tried to kidnap him in Indonesia because of his points of view. His dad got locked up. He can't talk to his family. He has an international arrest warrant. This man is marked because he speaks out against Erdogan and the Turkish regime. Okay. If you really want to be about it, be like that man eating his cancer. Don't be like, oh, well, I'm going to talk about some, American issues when it's safe and I can be comfy and it won't really impact my money. But then when it comes to international things, oh, no, I'm an American. That's really hilarious how that whole thing works. I'm just saying, be consistent. I'm not an SJW, so this is not my lane. I'm not going to be out here talking about hands up, don't shoot. I ain't going to talk about that. But if I was, then I got to keep that same energy. I got to keep that same intensity and vibe when anything like that happens, regardless of where it is. If I don't, then I'm just, I'm doing certain things just for the attention, and I'm not really being true to myself. Regardless of where you see me, where you find me, I'm going to be Anthony. I'm not going to just change depending upon the situation or the circumstance. My core beliefs will still be my core beliefs regardless of what the situation is. I don't care. People, I get a lot of grief because I'm anti-drug. I'm not going to change that. That's just me. It doesn't matter if somebody says, hey, come over here, you can do this thing, I'll give you some money, but you got to be pro-drug. No, thank you. I'm going to stick to my core beliefs. You don't have to like it. You don't got to agree with it. And that's fine because I'm going to be me regardless of what. And I implore all of you to be you as well. If you want to be a better version of yourself, you want to improve, that's fine. But I don't like this, this dual narrative. I'm going to talk about things I don't like that are happening in the world over here, but over there, no, I got money on the line. I can't do nothing with it. It is what it is. Oh, people buying the shoes don't care for the most part in America, but in China, it's different. Like, it's bad in China because really LeBron should have just kept quiet. If LeBron would have kept quiet, it wouldn't have been no problem. But see, now you're going to have Hong Kongers and mainlanders both attacking him, really, because mainlanders are going to see him trying to interfere with their politics. They may appreciate him more than the Hong Kongers, of course, because mainlanders may see Hong Kong as just rabble rousers and unnecessary protesters. That might be how they see him due to the education they have right there from President Xi. Okay, but Hong Kongers hate LeBron now because he's spoken out against him. He did not only just kind of take a neutral stance, he also said that, that tweet wasn't educated. So you're basically saying that his tweet in support of Hong Kong was incorrect, not just ill-timed, not just, inappropriate for him to say, but incorrect, which is way different than saying that it was inappropriate to say at a particular time because of safety reasons. Oh, you're talking about a sensitive issue and it has us in a weird situation. Nah, you're uneducated. You don't understand what's going on with that. Hong Kongers know what's going on with that and they support Daryl Morey. So they're burning his jersey. They got pictures of him with the crying face. They're protesting, all that kind of stuff. So it's bad. And also on the mainland, the Chinese government, well, the CBA, same thing. The Chinese Basketball Association, which is headed up by one Yao Ming, who used to be Houston Rocket, they have cut their ties with the Houston Rockets for the time being. So you got mainland China, regular civilians in mainland China, the government, Hong Kong, Hong Kongers. You created an international incident. You should have just kept quiet, But hey, this is what you want, right? You want to be an SJW, right? Now, if you want to do that, then talk, say whatever you want, and take the pressure. Don't be like, oh, we got a bad week. Nah, this is what you want. So it is what it is. Major bet, now lie in it. Hey, that cash is where it's at. It most certainly rules the world for sure. Ain't no question about that. None whatsoever. None at all. But see, what else we got here? What other topics we got on deck for the night? Let's see. Hold on one second. Oh, AmpFest was great. If you guys didn't go to AmpFest, or if you didn't see AmpFest, if you didn't see me posting about it and whatnot, it was great. This was the American Priority Festival and Conference that was in Miami, Florida at the Chunk Doral Resort. I was there from Wednesday to Sunday, early Sunday morning. The official conference was Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It was great. So many great speakers, so many great people I met, just, regular everyday people. And shout out to all you guys. You guys are fantastic. And also some of the speakers, the big name people, the Imam of Peace, Imam Tahiti, Donald Trump Jr. and Kimberly Guilfoyle. I know I'm butchering her name and I'm sorry. James O'Keefe from Project Veritas, Tom Fitton, Judicial Watch, Brandon Strout, Walkaway, Scott Pressler, who does a lot of activism work. He does the cleanups in Baltimore and LA, a lot of other places. The list goes on. I've met some of the angel parents. They were there. I met tons of people, made a lot of great connections. I saw a lot of people I already know, like David Harris Jr., my man Derek Gradenigo. I met Pastor Mark Burns before, but I didn't get to sit down and talk to him, so I saw him there. Joe Patrick was there. It was great. We had about 1,200 people, and that was up from their very first year, which was last year. I think they had like 88 people max. So next year, I think they might do it even double. I'm pretty sure they will. It'll be on the heels of the re-election of Donald Trump. Talking like 2,400 people, 5,000 people, who knows? It's going to be really big. Oh, Charlie Kirk was there, of course. Dinesh D'Souza was there. A lot of people. Also, my man, Dr. Shiva, he was there, gave a great talk. He was part of a panel. He did excellent. It was great. If you want to see anything more about that, I got a video about my experience on this channel. Also, there's a website, AmericanPriority.com. And check out my Instagram and my Facebook pages for some of the pictures I took from the actual event. 100%. Yes. Rambo Biggs was there. Yes, he was. You know, I saw him a few times, actually. Everybody was there. Pretty much anybody you could think of was there. Well, not literally everybody, but a lot of people were there. Angela King, yes, she was there. Let me see. A lot of people. Yes, and those flags, T-Pain posted a link for the flags behind me. If you want the Witten flags, there's a link. bhedesigns.com is right there in the chat. And if you don't see T-Pain's post about the flags, there's also a link in the description box. 100%. Let me see. And what else we got here? Thank you, Jamie. I appreciate you. I try to be reliable. Try to just be myself. That's all I can be, because everybody else is taken. 100%. Ilhan was there in disguise. Hilarious. I saw that whole thing about Ilhan Omar, and they said that was her and her boyfriend out there protesting, quote unquote protesting, rioting really in Minnesota. I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't put it past her. I mean, look at what she's done so far. I mean, anybody that gets married to their brother for citizenship and then is still married to somebody at the same time, like you get in a religious ceremony, a religious marriage that's not official to your actual husband that you got kids with. I think her oldest is like 18 or something. You get married to him through the non-legal ceremony, then get married to somebody else legally while you're still married to the actual husband non-legally. You're a bigamist, number one. And then once you try to file a joint tax return with your non-legal husband, which is illegal, you take campaign money to fix it because you got to hire a lawyer who's top dollar. Then you get caught up in, a situation where you cheat on your, it's so confusing. Pardon me. You cheat on your actual husband that you're not married to, if that makes any sense, with a guy that you give a bunch of campaign finance money to, like $250,000. And of course, that cash will go from him to her because they're in a relationship. She probably seduced that man to take him from his momager, a lady that's like 20 years older than him. That whole situation is weird. Okay, Ilhan Omar and the guy that she's with are both stone cold, stomp down weirdos. So for them to go out there and protest in Minnesota after the Trump rally or whatever that was in disguise is not a thing that I would be surprised that they did. It'd be right in line with everything else they've done. Stealing campaign money, getting married to your brother, all kind of stuff. It's not surprising at all. I would just be like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. 1,000%. Yeah, she divorced her brother. You divorcing your brother and then get married to your husband a year later because you weren't married to him before. And then you get divorced from him again a year later. How you get divorced twice in like 2 years or 1 year? You got divorced in 2018 or 17. Within a max 2 year period, you got divorced twice. And you were married to both of them simultaneously. What's really going on? We talking about haram. Oh my goodness, haram. You go to some countries over there in Middle East, you're going to get stoned to death for doing stuff like that. But I digress. Oh yeah, AOC. You know what? You're right, LF third. And the bigger point to make here is that we're seeing how the swamp operates truly. We're seeing how it operates. We're seeing how money gets to exchange hands. You can't be violating campaign finance law, but is it a violation if you get money from your boyfriend that also happens to be somebody that works in your campaign? Is that a violation? Ilhan Omar can say, you know what, I'm going to skirt around this. I'm going to do some unethical stuff, okay? There's a whole lot of ethics violations going on here that may or may not be illegal. They kind of like float on the cusp of legality and illegality. That's how the swamp works. Same thing with Hunter, crackhead, drunk, Biden, and his daddy, Joe Biden, okay? Is it illegal for Hunter Biden to be on the board of Burisma Holdings, getting paid $50,000 a month to do nothing? Maybe, but I don't think it is. I don't think it's anything illegal about that, but it's obviously unethical. It's obviously corrupt. What are you getting paid to do? I think they said the average salary in Ukraine is like $1,700, maybe a year, but definitely a month. So if the average salary in Ukraine is $1,700, you don't speak no Russian, no Ukrainian, or nothing. You over there as a regular, everyday American, drinking, smoking cocaine, all of that. You get paid $50,000 a month to do what? You have no experience. You don't speak any kind of Slavic language. What are you doing over there? For what? Why? Oh, your dad is a vice president at the same time. Your dad is the special envoy to Ukraine at this particular time. He had been to Kiev like 13 times in 1 year on a plane. And you spoke to the person that was in charge of firing a prosecutor that was investigating the company that your son worked for. Oh, nothing illegal here. It's perfectly fine. This is how the swamp operates. This is how a Maxine Waters is worth millions. This is how Nancy Pelosi is worth millions. Same thing with the Clintons. How do you enrich yourself from being a president or a senator or a congressperson? How do you enrich yourself that way? It's because you have influence, you have connections that you could not have if it were not for your particular role in government. It's very simple. That is a swamp. Go to DC, you see it for your own two eyes. With your own two eyes, you see all the money that's right there around DC. Alexandria, Annandale, all that stuff, money everywhere. It's just copious amounts. Even out way out Waldorf and all that. It's so much money from the federal government, it make your head spin. That area right around DC is the richest in the United States. Why? There's no industry there. Tell me what industry is in Washington, D.C. metropolitan area. Is there a Silicon Valley up there? Is there some kind of financial hub? Like, what's up there? Nothing other than the federal government and all that tax money they're trying to get from you. Talking about people like Bernie Sanders in a debate talking about, oh, we're going to raise your taxes and lower your costs. Does that make any sense? So you're going to raise my costs to lower my costs on a thing I may or may not get? That's like Amazon coming to you and saying, hey, give us $5,000 mandatory, and if you shop on Amazon, we'll give you 20% off or something like that. That's like, well, maybe I don't want to shop on Amazon. Too bad, give us the money. And then they're going to increase the price of all the goods on there. It's a game that they play. But see, to the average person that may not be educated about certain things, it sounds good. Oh, I get free stuff. You're going to tax the rich. I don't have any money. They think it's all good, but they don't understand how it's going to really affect them until it's too late. Same thing with those that are out there striking from their fast food job, flipping burgers, talking about 5 for 15. Why do you need to get paid $15 an hour to flip burgers? Literally anybody can do that. I've worked in food when I was, high school, early college. People were in there that had mental disabilities, people that were walking with canes. It's not a difficult job. They can train a robot to do your job, and then you're not going to get any money. Or if you do get $15 an hour, they'll simply cut your hours, or they'll put somebody that's more qualified in there. If I can get paid $20 an hour to flip burgers, Burger King right now, I'd do it. Maybe I would. But $20 an hour to flip burgers, how are you going to compete against me, who already has experience and who is 100% dedicated when you have no experience? People don't think about things very deeply. They think very shallow, but that's kind of how things go. All right. So thank you all for joining. I definitely appreciate you. Everybody give me a thumbs up if you like what you're hearing so far. And if you are not subscribed, I don't know what you got going on, go ahead and subscribe to me right now. I'd appreciate it. And what else we got? Rapper 10,000 says, heard about the stupidity of their anti-gun issue and how they're proving the NRA right. I'm not really sure who they is. The Dallas shooting was a few days ago. I'm not exactly sure of the exact day, but it was pretty recently. It was like right after this whole thing with Botham Jean died down as far as a trial. This happened. It might have been like 3, 4, 5 days ago, something like that. Let me see what else we got. Oh, and of course the debate. Did you guys watch the debate? You know, I was struggling. I was struggling to really watch it. I was trying my best to stay awake. I know Hunter's over there wide awake, eyes bucking and everything. That's a different story, so I digress. My point is that I was really struggling to stay awake and watch the debate. I was trying my hardest. I think I pretty much was done right around 10:30 Eastern. I was like, all right, I'm finished. There's no more to see here. I'm done. It was boring. You know, my thing about debates, I need to have some kind of, you know, something new that's being brought to the table, some kind of entertainment value, some kind of good back and forth, some kind of good discussion, something that I can sink my teeth into. But this debate is like the whole Russia situation, a nothing burger. You know, a whole bunch of bread and ketchup and lettuce with no actual meat patty on the center. It was nothing. It's like, this. What am I going to do with this? This is zero nutritional value, none whatsoever. Yeah, I mean, it was bad. Candace is not at AMP. But Candace will be at the Blexit rally. I'll be at the Blexit rally November the 10th in Atlanta. I'm going to do a video probably about that, promoting it. But I'll also be at Politicon on October 26th to 27th. So next week, I'll be at Politicon Saturday and Sunday. That's the 26th and the 27th of October. And then after that, on the 10th of November is a Sunday evening, I'll be in Atlanta for the Blexit rally. All right. But yeah, it was, the debate was terrible. One thing that kind of stood out to me was how just a whole lot of softball questions. You know, with CNN, have you guys seen the Project Veritas videos? Shout out to James O'Keefe. When he was at AMP Fest over the weekend, he said that he has a big thing coming. He has some bombshell information coming. And he also has some stuff about a 3-letter governmental organization, not just CNN, but also something in the government. He's going to do some, you know, some unveiling. That's going to be fantastic to see. But the CNN one, I think it confirmed all of what we already know. Everybody knows. I mean, anybody just watching the news at all, you understand that CNN, they've been biased. They have been totally against the right. We know Jeff Zucker, the CEO, the big dog over at CNN, he hates conservatives. Everybody knows that already, so it's nothing to actually just come out and say it. It's very simple. You know, it is what it is. Let me see. Hold on 1 second here. Hey, I already got a shirt in the works, Rapper 10,000. I already got a shirt, so don't even worry about it. Yeah, T-Pain, hey, I couldn't do nothing. I was asleep. I was done. I mean, there was nothing there. The debate, there was no moment where people were speaking Spanish or no protesters. It was just so vanilla. But you know what? I think what's happening at a lot of these so-called debates in front of a live audience is that the people in the audience are donors, and you know they're supporting the home team, so they're gonna be quiet, sit there, be nice. You know, it's like, give me a little bit of action. That's all I want. Give me some action. Give me a little bit of drama, some suspense, something. If you're going to watch a TV show, you want there to be some kind of entertainment value, or at least for it to be informative. Nobody stood out from everybody else. Everybody looked the same as they always have. I think this should be the last debate. Don't do no more debates, at least until you get to beyond the primary, and then we know who the candidates are going to be, or who the candidate is going to be. Like, at least until you get to the point where the primary happens and we know who's going to be it. You know, if it's I don't know, Joe Biden and Pocahontas, let it be between the two of them having a debate. Joe Biden, I think, will drop out at a certain point. I think he'll have some kind of really kind of crazy breakdown on stage where he's not able to get any words out, and he'll be forced to drop out. Bernie Sanders had a heart attack at 878. AOC is trying to endorse him. The only reason why she's going to endorse him is because he's a far leftist. If he were not a far leftist, she would not endorse him simply because he is not well physically. That's the only reason. It's just simple as that. Or if he were not if he were not a far leftist and there was somebody else that was more far leftist, then she would support them. The whole thing is just trying to fundamentally change the Democratic Party into a more far leftist perspective. It's simple. And she has the power, AOC that is, she has the power to be able to do it because of how popular she is on social media. It's very simple. All right. Yes, we do stir air quote. Absolutely. Okay. Now, let me see. What else? Oh, thank you to the super chatters right quick. Let me go read you guys off. Thank you to Jay Evans, who says, do you think Beto truly thinks he can pass his gun ban, or is it just a talking point to get votes? I think it's more of a talking point to get votes, honestly, because, realistically, he knows it's not going to happen. He has to know, because even CNN checked him on that. He did an interview, I forget who it was with, on CNN, and the lady was asking him, how are you going to get this whole gun confiscation, gun ban passed? How are you going to do that? He was like, well, I think that Americans will follow the law. And she was like, well, what about mass shooters? By definition, they don't follow the law. He pauses for a moment. He says, I think, yes, that Americans will follow the law. It's like, like she's just telling you about mass shooters. They don't follow the law. So if a mass shooter has a gun, you think they're going to give it back to you? You think they're going to just voluntarily let you have it? And then he was like, well, if somebody doesn't want to give up their gun, we'll have the police come visit them. Visit? No, you mean the police are going to come and draw guns and forcibly take the weapon away. If they get to the point of the police being involved, are they going to pay you money to get the gun from you? That make no sense. A mandatory buyback, but police drawing their guns on you. Now, I've never been in a situation where I've seen a person come with a gun, take your property, and then give you money for it. That'd be a very first. If you got to have your guns taken away by force by the police, you're probably going to get locked up. So how are you going to get money from that? It doesn't make any sense. It's gun confiscation. So it'll never happen. And I think deep down he knows that it'll never happen. But thank you for your donation. That question definitely appreciates. Thank you to Filthy Phil for your donation. I appreciate it. And shout out to a couple of the guys from the stream that I could not do yesterday. I thought that I was going to be able to do the debate yesterday on stream, but it was on CNN, unfortunately. I thought it was on ABC. Shout out to my man, Mandatory Carry, who says keep fighting anyways. Hey, I'm going to do that. Most certainly appreciate you. Thank you to Julie, who says, ABL, keep up the great work. Hey, I will most certainly do that. And I thank you for your donation on Super Chat. I most certainly appreciate it. Who will Bernie's VP be? That's a great question, actually. I really don't know. It could be, I was going to say AOC, but she's too young, because you still got to be 35 to be the vice president too, because you could become the president. So, and in Bernie Sanders' case, it's definitely likely that whoever he picks to be the VP would be the vice president if he were to win, which he won't. But in some kind of bizarre world, if he were to win, the VP would come in pretty soon afterwards. Just keeping it real. I'm not saying he's going to croak. I'm just saying that he might not be able to complete his presidency. He might have just stepped down or something like that, but I digress. So, the vice president, I don't know. Somebody like Tom Steyer or somebody, some nobody. Nothing against Tom Steyer. I'm just saying he's not a very popular person. He would not have anybody that would kind of overshadow him, in my opinion. It'd be, or it could be Biden. Who knows? It's all good, Tara C. Thank you for watching the recap. I appreciate you guys. Oh, one thing that they were talking about at the debate was legalizing opiates. It's like, really? People die every day, all day from opiates, and you want to legalize it? How does that make any sense? I just don't understand how that's going to help the situation. It doesn't. People. I guess the thought process would be, if you legalized opiates, then the deaths would stop from stuff like fentanyl and whatnot, because you'd be able to get it from a more reliable source. But you don't understand. Fentanyl is a legal drug. I'm gonna say that one more time. Fentanyl is a legal drug. That's why there are so many addicts. You understand? So if it's legal to actually take fentanyl, but it's so illegally, you have a bunch of, people dying as a result. How is making that just totally legal with no prescription, nothing like that, gonna make it better? It doesn't make any sense. It's already legal but regulated. The problem is people that become addicted to it and they go overboard, OD, and die, or just become addicts and they can't function properly. Thank you to Bill Monahan. Hopefully I didn't butcher your name, who says, thanks, man. My phone loves your show and always tells me when you're on. My PC, not so much. And thank you for your support. I definitely appreciate you. Yeah, those notifications are a little tricky, but I'm glad you get some at least on your phone. 100. Yeah, you're going to decriminalize opiates is ridiculous. Pocahontas and Bernie Sanders, that'd be interesting. But I don't think Pocahontas would be the VP. I don't think Pocahontas would have Bernie as a VP. I think she understands that he is about that, he has one foot in the grave. So I don't think that would be a wise decision. Who would she pick for a VP? Probably somebody like Kamala Harris. Girl power. I remember during the 2016 election, Pocahontas was really supporting Hillary Clinton. So I think she have a female in there. Or maybe Stacey Abrams, M1 Abrams tank. Maybe so. I can't really tell. Let me see. All right. What else we got? Did I get everything? Thank y'all for being here. Definitely appreciate you. I'm going to open the phone lines in just one moment. Hopefully everything is good on my Skype. So we can go and get that rocking and rolling. And that is the game plan. And also, like the video. If you've not liked it already, please share it as well. I'd appreciate it. If there's any more questions, I'll read that right quick, and then I get into the calls. Let me see. Little Drummer Girl says, opioid addiction is killing off record numbers of people in Ohio, but half of this state is stupid anyway. Yeah, I was watching a documentary about opiate abuse in Ohio and also West Virginia where I was born. It's just, the problem is you got sleepy towns, nothing to do, and you got these pill mills popping up. You got pill mills, corrupt doctors, and just regular street gangs that pump it in. Plus, you have the internet. You can buy the stuff from China and get it shipped straight to your house. And then a lot of times they putting all kind of stuff in there, rat poison or whatever. It's a mess. I'm not really sure how legalizing that is going to change it. I don't get it. Thank you, Jamie. I appreciate you for being a long-time subscriber. Everything is good, T-Bone MMA. Thank you for watching the show. Ghetto Cheers. I see your name a lot. I don't know what your name is supposed to be. They say the sale of opiates on the street level would still be illegal and get your hind parts thrown in jail. Well, that's the way it is now. It's nothing. That's not legalizing opiates would eliminate that, because opiates are legal, but the sale on the street is illegal. Opiates are legal, like Oxycontin, Xanax, Lortabs, fentanyl. These are all legal drugs. All of them are legal. You can get them from a doctor. Well, fentanyl is a little different, but you can get that legally. Depends on the situation. Like if you get into a bad accident or something, you can get fentanyl. But the problem is the street level dealers not even the dealers. The problem is the addiction. People get hooked on it. Like somebody gets a back injury or something like that. They get prescribed some kind of opiate derivative from a doctor. They take it to heal through their process, and then they find themselves using them for just, to stay normal. They become addicted. Now you have an opiate addict. It's very simple. That's how it works. All right. Let me see. All right. I can go ahead and get the pain. Lance, the Gippy Fisherman, says all the pain medication comes from China. Yes. Correct. Xanax not an opioid? Okay. I know Oxycontin most certainly is. That's a big one. Oxys. All these drugs are legal, and people become addicted to them, and then it becomes a situation where they got to get them however kind of way they can or for cheaper. Now you got street stuff happening and people get overboard. They go overboard and mess around and die. Or they become just addicts in general. All right, let's go ahead and get to the phone calls. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Oh, I got to say one more thing. I was looking at a poll. I forget where it was from, but it's a very reliable source that has not been wrong about an election since 1980. And they got Trump getting like over 400 electoral votes. I think it's going to happen. There's so much enthusiasm behind Trump. You got all kind of rallies and parades and everything else. His rallies are packed. Events that are kind of centered around Trump and conservatism are packed. But as far as anybody being in a liberal, one thing that stood out to me in the Project Veritas video that was uncovering CNN, a question was asked, hey, why do you guys always play everything that Trump does? It doesn't matter if it's just like a regular speech at some random place, if it's a rally or whatever, you guys always play it, but you don't play pretty much anything, or you don't play the complete version of a Joe Biden quote unquote rally or any other Democrats. And they simply said because they're snooze fest, they're boring. People just change the channel. Nobody's going to watch that. When people watch Trump, they want to see him, and he's correct. And I think that's people that hate him. They hate watch people that have TDS and they've not treated it yet. They've not gone to a shrink and get it worked out. They watch him. And also people that like Trump, they watch him as well. People that don't understand politics watch him because they're just interested to see what's going on. But a Joe Biden, quote unquote, rally, first of all, nobody's going to be there. Second of all, nobody cares. So anybody going to watch that? So if you have that level of quote unquote enthusiasm for a Joe Biden, a Pocahontas, a Kamala Harris, etc., how are you going to supersede the enthusiasm of a Donald Trump, the incumbent, and win any states that are kind of in battlegrounds? You'll take California, Illinois, New York, but what about Ohio, Pennsylvania, Florida? It ain't really going to work. It's just not enough enthusiasm to actually make it happen. All right, let's go ahead and get to the phone calls. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Let's see if Skype will work for me tonight. Hopefully it does. Okay, it wants to install itself again, of course. Yeah, Andrew Yang has a gimmick, just like Tulsi Gabbard has a gimmick. Yes, I said it. Andrew Yang's gimmick is the UBI, free money. Tulsi Gabbard's gimmick is being anti-war, although she's really pro-war when it comes down to it, but I digress. Let me go ahead and get my situation together over here on Skype. You guys give me one moment, and I'm going to get her rocking and rolling. Okay, let's see. Hopefully everything works the way I want. And I think we are good. Let's go. Mike from Queens, what's happening?
What's going on? How you doing?
Everything is good, man. Can't complain.
Yeah, you're traveling the country on the circuit.
Yeah, man. Trying to do a little bit, not too much, just kind of like a little Eastern USA tour. That's all.
Yeah, it's good to see you with getting involved with all these people like Trump Jr. and I saw you post pictures with Uber Guy. All good people, man. That's they're trying to keep this American dream alive.
That's right.
Because the other side doesn't like the Constitution and could use it's toilet paper basically to them.
Exactly, 100%.
I don't know if you had a chance yet, but I want to ask you: did you see Joker yet?
I've not seen that yet, but I really, really want to. I've just been real busy. I wanted to see it in Florida, but I had no time, so I'm gonna try to find some time this week to go see it.
Yeah, you're not going to be disappointed. No spoilers, but Joaquin Phoenix was amazing. My opinion, I think he's the best Joker out of the three, out of Nicholson, Ledger, and him.
Oh wow, that's a lot because Heath Ledger. That was an excellent. Really, all of the Jokers did fantastic in their own way. Like even Jack Nicklaus, he did great. Heath Ledger. They all did great. So I want to see his performance and see what kind of spin he put on it.
Exactly. I mean, like I said, like you just pointed out, Heath Ledger was amazing. It's a shame that that part basically killed him because he got hooked on all those substances. Basically preparing for that role and getting him into that role.
Right.
But there's actually some pretty good movies coming out. I'm surprised Hollywood actually found the budget to make a World War II, a remake of a World War II epic, Midway. I don't know if you've seen the coming attractions to that. That looks really good.
Yeah, it looks great. I want to see that. It kind of reminds me of Dunkirk. Have you seen that?
Yeah, Dunkirk was excellent. That Midway was the turning point battle in the Pacific during World War II. I know you. I know you being a student of history probably studied it. Studied it down the road, or along the lines here. And then you got that other one. Although he's suffering from Trump derangement syndrome, De Niro's in that Scorsese film, The Irishman, and it's got an all-star cast. I think Al Pacino is playing Jimmy Hoffa. They got Joe Pesci out of retirement to play a part.
Yeah, I saw that, and that looks great. I want to see that because, Al Pacino, not Al Pacino, Robert De Niro as a person, whatever. His politics I don't really care about, but in movies he's great. I mean, Casino, one of my all-time favorite movies, still to this day. I mean, anytime it comes on, I can watch it like it's a brand new movie. I love it. So, The Irishman looks fantastic. I definitely want to see that.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I mean, personally, for me, I think I have preference towards Pacino because I think Pacino plays a better gangster.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, De Niro. I think De Niro is maybe more of a versatile actor than Pacino, but when it comes down to playing a gangster, I mean, a lot of people say The Godfather, the Michael Corleone part might be Al Pacino's best part. I think it was Scarface. That's just my opinion.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Absolutely.
And he had other roles where he was where it was underrated, where he played Lefty Ruggiero and Donnie Brasco with Johnny Depp. Carlito's Way was another great flick with Sean Penn. But I just want to cover the Democratic debates briefly. It doesn't even pay to watch it. We know what the clowns are going to be offering. It's the same old juggling act, and they can't even juggle the ball straight anyway.
Exactly. Yeah, you're right about that.
And listen, like you just said, like my prediction, I'm gonna stay by that. 350 to 400 electoral votes, Trump is going to win by. All of this nonsense with and anytime one of these somewhat sane Democratic candidates, Tulsi Gabbard to an extent. I mean, Klobuchar has made a couple of statements that made sense when, she told Bernie Williams about, do you want to take private insurance away from 155 million people? People are hearing this. They're not going to go for this. And it's going to be great. And all these polls, don't believe them. Just throw them throw it in the garbage. The nonsense with, this Democratic candidate, you're talking about 15 people that they're using you're talking about 15 people up against one person. Wait until it gets down to one person when you're talking the general election. You just imagine Trump on the same stage on the debate floor with Elizabeth Warren. That's going to be great.
Yeah, it'd be just primetime TV, some of the best ratings. It'd be fantastic.
Yeah, it'll be like Dave Chappelle. Again with Juicy Smollett. So, all right, brother. Let me get going and keep up the good work, and I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Got it. Good night.
All right, thank you to my man Mike from Queens for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. And you guys know the drill. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Let me go ahead and get to my next call here. 561, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
This is Lance the Gibby Fisherman, your buddy.
All righty. What's going on?
Oh, not much. Got a question for you. Who does the Democratic Party represent?
That's a good question. At this point, I don't really know. If I had to guess, I would say the extreme, crazy, far leftist people.
But they would be Americans, right? Even if they're far left and crazy?
Well, for the most part, I mean, I was listening to the debate last night, and I saw Beto talking about trying to get Mexican citizens into trade unions in America, maybe. So I don't really know, but for the most part, they should represent Americans.
They should, but there's no American flags at their debates. And last night at the debate, there was a pentagon above them with 22 different pentagrams.
Oh well, I didn't see that.
Yeah, well, it's very noticeable. It's right above them. You'll have to watch it again and take notice. Yeah.
Okay.
That which has significance, however. And then you're going with the opiates again, man. I'm gonna have to debate you on that one. You're killing me.
What's going on with the opiates? Again,
well, I mean, you're anti-opiates. Some people need them.
Well, yeah, of course some people need them, but the problem is the abuse. That's the issue.
Well, yeah, abusing them and needing them are two different things.
Right.
Anything
So I'm not talking. Hold on.
Arms, everything can be abused.
Okay, I'm not talking about people that. I ain't talking about people that need them. I'm talking about people that abuse them. People that are dying in the streets because they're abusing them. It's obviously a problem going on. I mean, you get towns where people die like every day. I was watching a documentary today, and it's one town
from firearms.
Listen to what I'm saying though. Firearms is not even the same thing, because I'm talking about, like, there was a documentary where one town in Ohio, 50% of the babies were born addicted. Is that not a problem?
Yeah, of course it's a problem. I'm not saying
okay.
It's not
So
a problem.
I'm talking about
don't abusing it.
But like the problem is not the problem, sir. Listen. Like this is where I'm gonna talk, and you can just hang on for a second, and I'll get back to you. If you need them, if you broke your back or something like that, ain't nobody talking about you. I'm talking about those that are abusing it and are dying, and also all the illegal drugs that are just flooding into the country. I mean, do you think you should be able to just get fentanyl sent to your house from China? Is that what we should be doing? Or the fentanyl and heroin that comes across the border illegally from Mexico?
Well, I believe in the Constitution. I believe people have the right to do what they want to do.
No. I'm talking about the illegality. I'm talking about it's not legal. It's not legal to transport drugs across the border. It's not legal to transport drugs in a boat from China or something like that. The same way it's not legal to transport guns illegally. I'm all about legality.
The right to bear arms shall not be infringed, but there's a lot of laws that stop people from getting firearms.
Well, that's. I mean, you can buy guns here, but it's not legal to, like, you can't bring a gun on the plane, can you? But you can bear arms, but you can't do whatever you want in the world. Like, I can't bring my gun on the plane loaded, and and is that a problem?
Well, now you're talking about a plane that's private that somebody owns.
Okay, but like I can't do whatever I want. Like there's certain little restrictions. Like you also,
absolutely, yeah, I know.
So should I be able to traffic drugs across the southern border and do whatever? Should I be able to buy heroin from China?
My point. Can I speak for 2 seconds? Give me 2 seconds. Okay.
I mean, I ask you a question. You can answer the question if you want.
I'm going to answer your question with a long answer. Okay, because the way I see it is, if you look at prohibition, okay, look at the homicide rate before prohibition. Look at the homicide rate during prohibition. Then they got rid of prohibition. The homicide rate went back down. The homicide rate was very low until drug prohibition. Then it went through the roof again. So what is it really doing? It's not. It's creating more problems than anything else, I think, personally.
But see, the problem,
just like alcohol prohibition.
Okay.
I mean, because you could say the same thing about alcohol. People get addicted to alcohol. People abuse alcohol. You know, those are choices that individual make. That's on them.
But check it out, though. The problem is, the flaw with your argument is that these drugs are legal. That's a flaw with your argument. Yeah. The drugs are legal.
But I think they should be more legal. I think if you want them, you go to the store and get them, just like alcohol. Alcohol was the same thing. Did we not learn anything from alcohol prohibition?
We're not in prohibition because the drugs are legal. That's the problem, that you couldn't just go to a doctor and get alcohol as a prescription like you can with these opiates. So that's not a proper comparison to make.
Comparing it to alcohol prohibition, where it was completely illegal, you couldn't even get a prescription to get it.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, that's why your argument is flawed, because we're not in that stage.
But look at
sir, I got to finish what I'm saying. The argument is flawed because we're not in that stage. Opiates are legal. The problem is the illegal sale of them and the addiction that it has.
Make them legal and tax them.
But they are legal. You don't understand.
I'm saying without a prescription. Make them legal without a prescription and tax
all right.
them. If people want to go kill themselves, then let them.
So, I mean, all right. So, should it be an age limit?
That's addition by subtraction. You know that, right?
So should it be an age limit?
Sure, why not? There's age limit on alcohol and guns.
What should be the age limit? How about fentanyl? Should you be
21.
able to buy that?
21. If 21 you want to be an idiot and kill yourself, then you're welcome to it. That's like drinking and driving.
So should I be able to buy, sir? Like time is of the essence. So I got to ask a question.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Should I be able to buy fentanyl in the corner store?
If you want to and you want to go kill yourself, knock your socks off.
So is that a yes?
Sure. Why not?
Okay, that's interesting. So a thing that can kill you just from touching it, I should be able to buy that in the corner store. How about any kind of poison, anything that can kill you?
There's all kinds of poisons you can buy over the counter that can kill you.
I mean, I'm talking about.
Look at Raid. Raid's killing all kinds of people. There's a big lawsuit about that. That was legal. People use it all the time.
Well, should I be able to have?
People are exposed to asbestos.
Okay, all right. I got you. I got you. But I got to ask. I got one more question. Then I got to get to my next call. Should I be able to have a nuclear weapon? A small nuclear weapon. Now I ain't talking about a warhead, but a small nuclear weapon. Should I be able to have that in my house?
Well, if you're endangering other people, then it might be an issue.
It's yes or no question. It's very simple.
See, nothing's black and white. That's the problem.
But it was with drugs. It was, first of all, with opiates. It's like, legalize it. No.
Prohibition.
All right.
There's how many black people are in prison because of drugs?
See, I mean that's totally.
You know what I'm saying?
That's totally unimportant because people make choices.
It is important. I think it's important.
You're dodging the question, sir. Should I be able to have a nuclear weapon in my house?
It's a part of Agenda 21, and it's directed towards black people. It was directed toward black people.
Should I be able to have a nuclear weapon in my house?
You can do what you want, as long as you're not hurting anybody.
I mean, I just want a yes or no. Then I can get to my next call. Yes or no question, please, sir.
Will you not hurt anybody else? I mean, if it goes off, how many people are you
sir,
kill?
Just look. All I need is yes or no.
To an extreme example.
How hard is it? How hard is it to answer the question? I don't understand.
If it was you can have a grenade. How's that?
I said nuclear, a small nuclear weapon. Yes or no?
You're making it.
All right. Okay. I got it.
The extreme.
Okay. So you do have limits on what you would allow as far as arms. Right to bear arms shall not be infringed, but there are limits according to you. Well, you don't want to say it, sir. You don't want to say it. You don't want to say it, but that's the truth. There are some limits. You got to be reasonable. There's no reason why you should be able to buy fentanyl in the corner store. The same reason why it's not a reason why you should be able to have a nuclear weapon in your crib, just ready to use it whenever you want. There are limits. You got to be reasonable. But thank you for the call. I definitely appreciate you. All right. So shout out to the caller. Hey, it's all good. I'm having fun. The number to call is 434-658-1220. I mean, listen, fentanyl, do you understand how dangerous that is? I mean, to have it just be out there in the wild like it's a pack of Newports, I mean, people would be dying in the store just handling this stuff. There's no thought process beyond just like right here. It's narrow-sighted, it's short-sighted. It doesn't make any sense. And then people that are going to be dope sick because they don't have their drugs are going to be robbing these pharmacies, and people are already robbing pharmacies for just regular pills. You think you're going to be able to have fentanyl? Like, you're going to have that be behind like a vault or something and have people with hazmat gear on handling it. It's not a very well thought out thing to say you can have fentanyl just in Rite Aid. It makes no sense. But I'm going to get to my next call. All right, caller, who do we have on the line?
Well, if it isn't my old friend, Anthony Brian Logan, it's been a long time since your favorite basketball superstar, Sue Bird, has paid you a call. And I saw you complaining about the MNBA. And I'm wondering, is it finally time that Anthony gets off of his high horse and watches some real basketball by some of the best gals in the land?
I think that I'm good watching NBA basketball, WNBA. I'm watching the layup fest, and sometimes you miss the layup when it's wide open. So I think I'm pretty much good on that. I'm gonna just watch the very exciting NBA, not the WNBA.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, you don't know what you're missing. One time, Shamiqua Holtzclaw threw her towel at me and almost like got messed up my makeup. It was a pretty tense scene over there. You know, there was some real malice at the Princess Palace, if you know what I'm talking about.
I guess so. I guess it could have been a bad situation, but I'm glad nothing happened. I'm glad it didn't get up in the stands, and we did not have a Ron Artest, Ben Wallace situation happen. So, yeah, I'm glad it didn't happen, but, yeah, I'm going to take my suit to my NBA for sure.
Well, Anthony, I mean, I guess since we're such long-standing friends and we've always had these heart-to-hearts, what exactly is your problem with the MNBA?
Well, the MNBA, but nah, the WNBA,
the Male Toxicity Basketball Association.
Wow, nah. The NBA is great. You know, I'm a basketball player. I'm a basketball fan too, so I love the NBA. But the WNBA, it's just not really there. I mean, the ratings ain't there. You guys not making any money. If it were not for the NBA, you guys would not be in existence. It's like a charity case. So you should go ahead and fold on up. And if you want to see an exhibition game in the YMCA somewhere and Pontchartrain, Mississippi or something like that, I say go for it. But nobody wants to see you guys on television. It just ain't working out.
Well, I mean, what's changed since before? I mean, what's going on in the MNBA that's been different since whenever? You know,
it's been the same. It's just not getting any better. That's the problem. I mean, maybe if you have some transgender women in there that are actually men, like Juwanna Man, it'd be a little bit more exciting. Get some high flying dunks and some stuff like that going on.
But you know, I mean, we do some very important work as basketball players, and we go all over the world and we represent the best things for humanity. And I think that you're really selling all of us short. And, you know, all of the bravery of people to go overseas and sell their sneakers to people who otherwise would probably be wearing Converse. You know, it's really, we're doing the Lord's work. I mean, what's your problem?
Oh, no, I mean, hey, it's all good. Keep doing what you're doing. But how you feel about what LeBron said about Nike, or really China? Not Nike, but China. How you guys feel about that over at the WNBA? Was he right? Was he wrong? Do you think Daryl Morey was right to support Hong Kong? What's going on?
Look, Anthony, it's a very difficult situation for me as someone who has a very deep social conscience. What LeBron James said really got my blood boiling when he equivocated. Instead of praising his enlightened holiness, President Xi.
Oh, wow.
I mean, come on. You have to take a stand at a certain point. Look at all of the horrible caricatures that are being made of him, looking like some sort of brutal woodland creature with his piggy pet and all of that. I mean, look at this. And parading around with Mr. Mr. Obama and whatever. I mean, come on. They should have more respect for our enlightened leader, the great helmsman, Mr. President Xi.
Well, hey, I think that you got some human rights violations happening in China. You got the Hong Kongers getting stomped in the head, shot, and everything else just for simply that's funny. I'm seeing the screen. I can't show it because it's acting up, but it looks like Barack Obama and Xi Jinping walking with Tigger and Winnie the Pooh. That is hilarious. That's hilarious.
How can it be hilarious when he has done so much to brighten the sky of the world by building a harbor in Sri Lanka and basically repossessing it now since Sri Lanka couldn't pay the debt? But he built it, and they came to work for him.
Well, hey, people, you got a bunch of Muslims up in Xinjiang that are being blindfolded and taken away to a quote-unquote re-education facility. There's probably a gulag where they make big rocks into little rocks. So I don't think that Xi Jinping has a very good human rights track record to really be praising like that.
I am sure that President Xi knows that Islam is right about everything except women.
I don't know about that because I mean I did see him getting blindfolded and tied up, so it doesn't look too good for him.
Look, Anthony. I mean, I think you're just you're once again on the wrong side of history, just like you were when Dave Chappelle unleashed his awful special, and I can't believe he was tapping our phone conversations while we were in the car with all the other alphabet people.
Well, hey, I mean, it was funny comedy. You know, sometimes comedy people might get a little upset, a little triggered, a little butthurt, but hey, if it's funny, and it's okay.
I told Mayor Pete that we should have the car checked for bugs many times. And finally, he's going to have to yield and let me drive for once.
Oh, he was in the car too with y'all? That's interesting.
Yeah, he was the G, and then there was, in the back as the B was Samantha Ronson. And, I guess, well, a certain first lady was also in there.
Whoa. Wow, I can imagine who that is, but I won't say no names.
But anyway, I'd like to, since you're being such an awful human being as usual, I'd like to tell you some great jokes that a real comedian has told me. My wife, Megan Rapinoe. Would you like to hear some of them?
Go for it.
Okay. Question. Pessimists have a glass that's half empty. Optimists have one that's half full. How do you get a glass that's 78% full?
I don't know.
You send a full glass to USA Soccer, and then they return it to the U.S. Women's National Team.
Wow.
All right, we're writing the rest of the set, so some of the jokes are kind of lame.
Okay.
And I guess as I close, I would like to lead us in prayer.
Oh boy.
Hail Greta, sour of face, Gaia is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the low-carbon boat that you came in on. Woke Greta, mother of earth, pray for us polluters now and at the hour of our death.
Wow, that was very.
I didn't hear an amen, Anthony.
I'm not going to be able to do it. I'll just say thank you for your call. I'm most certainly appreciate you.
Well, thanks, Anthony. I appreciate your friendship and your viewership of the WNBA.
All right, now. Take care.
Have a good night.
All right. You guys are crazy. Shout out to Sue Bird. That was really Sue Bird right there from the WNBA. It was not a troll or anybody that was doing an impersonation. That was really Sue Bird for real. Let's get back to the calls. Thank you all for joining. I definitely appreciate you. But let me get to my next call. 240, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
It's your boy, JB. What's up, brother?
Everything's good, JB. What's happening?
How you been, man? I ain't been able to get in for a long time, brother, man. But I'm glad your things doing good. Everything the show looking well. I checked out the black in downtown DC. I didn't get a chance to make it down there, but I did see. When I went downtown, you guys were in town. I didn't get a chance to see anything, but I know there's a lot of people hating on y'all on the internet.
Oh yeah.
Black conference. Woo.
Yeah, it's always the case. That's always the case. Everybody wants to, people want to hate, but I'm not really worried about it too much. I mean, the conference was, it was fantastic. Met a lot of great people.
Yeah, I heard it was too. It was amazing. And I tell you, it's amazing to see black conservatives. They're speaking out, not hiding like they used to. But I was shocked how many black conservatives that I actually meet. How many black people actually share the same views that I see. I was shocked.
It's a lot of us, and the thing is, it's a lot of us just kind of we got to stay low. I mean, people in general, a lot of times they got to stay low, regardless of the race, because they might have to have a job where you got a liberal boss, or you might work in an industry where it's dominated by liberal people, so you got to kind of stay low. You can't really be too out there with your political points of view.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then another topic is, brother, man. But yeah, great hearing your voice, bro. Good to see you back on the air. Good. The topic, short video. But yeah, brother, did you hear about the Planned Parenthood getting an award? You heard about that?
You said the Planned Parenthood doing what?
They got an award, something, some kind. And
you kind of breaking up a little bit. You kind of breaking up a little bit.
Can you hear me? The Planned Parenthood. It says the Planned Parenthood.
You still breaking up real bad. I don't know, like if you're in a certain location.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I hear you now.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I was just saying they said that Planned Parenthood was getting awards for stuff they've been doing for the community, and I was like, what does this mean? Like killing babies and stuff like that? I mean, come on now, stuff like that. And then I posted a post. I said, Margaret was the biggest racist ever. She's the biggest reward because what she did was she actually literally fooled black community believing inside all these years.
Yeah, you still like you still are breaking up, but I think what you said was that the Planned Parenthood got an award for like like community service or something like that. I mean, but my question would be who's giving the actual awards out, because a lot of times these awards don't really mean anything. I mean, you're watching some of these award shows where it's musical acts getting it, people in arts and entertainment getting these awards. A lot of times it's just whoever does favors. Like, all right, you may have a music award show. People that win and people that are nominated are just going to be those that paid a bunch of money to the radio industry to get their songs on the radio over and over again. So it's really just a matter of, okay, you paid the most money, so here's an award. Congratulations.
Exactly, but I mean, black women was actually cheering this shit on, saying how great Planned Parenthood was. You see, you mean ABL?
Yeah, I mean, you still kind of, but I heard you. I mean, yeah, but
it's shocking to me, brother. It's shocking. Am I lying?
Yeah, no, I mean, but see, the thing is, a lot of black women they're on the left, so they're not thinking about how many black babies have been killed since 1973 Roe v. Wade, which is 20 million and more and counting. They don't think about that. All they think about is, oh well, this organization is on the left. They say they fight for me, so I'm going to support them without really having any true information that supports what they say.
True. And it's just amazing to me. It's just amazing to me how so many black people are not informed with what's really going on.
Right.
ABS, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, and then on top of that, they're actually cheering Joe Biden. How Joe Biden has a whole black cast behind him moving this campaign. And I said, they're about to be unemployed. Am I right, ABL?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Am I still in my brother?
Yeah, you kind of in there a little bit.
Okay. Well, like I'm gonna cut this show, bro, man. But keep the faith up, brother, man, and keep the good work up. All right, peace.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, peace.
All right. Shout out to my man for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. You guys know the drill. The number to call is 434-658-1220. And I thank y'all for being here so far. Let's get to my next call. 216 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, it's Barlow. What's good, ABL?
Everything's good, man. What's happening?
Man, I'm going to talk about LeBron right quick. Man, LeBron, he full of crap, man. You remember back in, was it 2014 when he came back to Cleveland?
Yeah.
He did an interview with GQ, and he said about the owner, he felt like that email was racist. I mean, that's what he said in the interview, and he ended up coming back to a racist. Now, make that make sense when you got all the money in the world. That doesn't make sense.
Right.
Then, on his China thing, he's supposed to be this so-called social conscious athlete, super athlete, for the people. And then, he was scared to go against China. You can't take people like that seriously, man. All these athletes and these celebrities that's supposed to be social conscious warriors, you can't take them seriously, man. They all about the money, man. He's no different than all the other phony ones, man. He's full of crap, man. You can't take him seriously. And then one more thing, even with the Tamir Rice situation, he wanted to be an advocate for the 12-year-old boy that got killed by the police officer in Cleveland a few years ago. Well, the child mother has spoke out against LeBron, was like he needed to be more proactive and maybe get some laws or some stuff changed because of who he is. And then he said to her, well, I don't know too much about that police situation. I don't got all the details, so I ain't going to get involved. You can't take LeBron seriously, man. But that's all I wanted to say, man. Good show, man. That's it, man. Have a good one.
All right, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you. Great, all facts. A lot of great points that were made right there. Yeah, LeBron. The main thing about that decision when he left Cleveland the first time, went to Miami. The owner of the team, I think his name is Gibson, Daniel Gibson, something like that. Anyway, he wrote a letter just dogging LeBron because of how he did it, and you know, LeBron was so important to Cleveland because of the money that he brought in. Dan Gilbert, that's his name. His name is Dan Gilbert. He brought so much money in, and he was talking about staying there, and then he just was like, well, all right, I'm going to go to Miami, get this ring, and then I'm going to do that. And then after he realized he couldn't win in Miami anymore, he decided to come back to Cleveland and right back to the same owner, Dan Gilbert, and everything was all right after that. So, I mean, was he racist or no? What happened? I mean, it's interesting to see how you change when the money gets involved, when your legacy gets involved. It's interesting to see how you just move about. But let me get to my next call here. And the number to call is 434-658-1220. Let me get to the next call. 702, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, what's up, man? It's Mark.
All right, what's going on, Mark?
Hey, nothing much. How was your Columbus Day?
It was great. I was just chilling, not doing too much.
Yeah. I heard Columbus, Ohio is mainly Somalian now.
I've not heard about that. I got family up there, but I've not heard that. I wouldn't be surprised, though.
Right on. Yeah, it's quite a week to see, all the things you grow up with kind of being exposed as globalism kind of takes over, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, my favorite thing of the LeBron thing was, do you think he's aware of what he's saying or not? Because my favorite was when he was like, harm financially, physically, and spiritually. Do you think he knows what he's saying, or do you think that he's doing it? Do you think that was a subliminal insult to people?
I think he's just talking I think he's just reading Instagram quotes and putting them together to make a statement. Because LeBron, let's not forget, LeBron straight out of high school, no college education. And I don't think that he was necessarily sticking to the books when he was in school. He was majoring in basketball, so you're not seeing a really educated individual up there. So I think his main thing was to say, look, you messing the money up, sir. So stop messing the money up. That's what he wanted to say, but he wanted to say it in a more elegant way. So he went on Instagram on some of these motivational speakers pages and read a couple of things and put it together, and voila, you have a statement.
That's actually a great point about the motivational speakers, and maybe I'll get to that a bit later. But when he talks about, someone could have been physically harmed, you mean like getting your eye shot out of your head?
Right,
physically
exactly.
Harmed like that?
Right.
Yeah. And then when he's like, spiritually, you could have been harmed. It's like, do you spiritually harm people with like Jesus sneakers that make you walk on water and blasphemy sneakers? Is that kind of like your spirituality there, where you have like what's next? Like, let's have the Sistine Chapel sneakers that you walk on, or the what's the one in France? Anyway, it's just funny when they and I don't even think, would those Jesus sneakers even be allowed on a court if you're playing a game in China?
No, I don't think so. That's a good question right there, because China, you can't just do whatever you want. There's certain rules and regulations you gotta abide by. Your human rights is not really the same over there. So yeah, that might not be that might be a no-go.
Yeah. I heard under communism and fascism, you don't get people like MLK. You don't get people like Gandhi. There are no Western notions of power to the people and democracy. None of that even exists there.
Oh, no. That's a Western thing. You don't have that in these communist places. That's just not what it is. You want to have individuality, have your own religion. No. come to this concentration camp and make these big rocks into little rocks. How about that? That'd be your exercise. You're not going to be out here doing whatever you want to do. It's just not how it rolls.
Yeah. I don't know. When you said spiritually, I literally screamed. It was just funny and hilarious because all the I could hear the left out there going, Tibet. What about Tibet? Like, what do the Chinese do to Tibet? Or like, what about like the Falun Gong? Have you ever heard of the Falun Gong?
Yeah, they do like meditation and stuff, and China's like, we can't have this organization be here. They try to infiltrate it and break it up. Is that kind of what's going on?
Yeah. Well, the Falun Gong also, they're basically get back with China's religious roots. So China would be like, we're center of the heavens, and they would get into their theology and their cosmos and their spirituality back when they were God. But the communists, they came in and crushed all that a long time ago. So the Falun Gong, you'll see them at the library system here in America, and they'll have their paintings and their artwork, and you'll see some of these Chinamen being tortured so profusely as part of their religious order that in the painting they'll be in the chair and they've just been beaten, but in their dreams they're seeing all these images of heaven and everything, and it basically showed the abuse, the physical abuse they went through at the hand of Chinese soldiers, but in their mind they're like in heaven as they're like hallucinating from the physical pummeling they just took.
Wow.
Yeah, also, I don't know, what's that, have you ever heard of Shen Yun?
That Broadway type play?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shen Yun is like that. If you read the description, it's put on by the Falun Gong, and it's the Chinese in the West that have the freedom to practice their religion and their spirituality, as LeBron would say. So they put on these stage performances to celebrate heaven, to celebrate their God, the God that was, thousands of years ago in Imperial China, as opposed to now where you just are not allowed to even have that,
Right.
Yeah, and it's just wild when he says, "Yeah, don't harm people financially," and all we talk about now is Chinese money. And yes, you have free speech, but there's consequences to your free speech, and it's just wild to see. What bums you out as a Westerner or as an American? How many other Americans are looking at this, going, "Man, all this time you were like throwing your fist in the air, you were protesting truth to power, and in the end all that matters is Chinese money," to the point where a tweet is no longer allowed. Like everything you said about free speech here in America, the CEOs, the David Sterns, the Adam Silvers, and the people like LeBron that'll get up there and like, "I'm going to wear my protest sneakers or my protest shirt." I feel like this move with China exposes all of that, and it was all fake, and it was all fraud. And when it comes to the rest of us, we have Apple, we have, big tech. So it's like, all this time they were using free speech to subvert the West. Now the corporations have their little big tech loophole to squash all dissent and all free speech. So all that stuff we heard about with the free speech heroes of the last 50 years, it was all a lie. You know what I mean? That's how I feel these days. That's how I feel like the protester, the Black Panther type, the Africanized color type was kind of exposed. And as a Westerner, I'm already used to that because big tech doesn't, allow these patriotic notions, and then you'll have like President Xi going, "Oh, we do what we can for the Chinese nation," and it's like everything the NBA and the NFL and these protester types do is anti-nationalism in the West. So it's just like it seems like everything was just fake, like everything we were raised on was fake, and it seems like now it's across the board. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Yeah, I feel like other cultures are getting a taste of what the rest of us have kind of had to deal with as we've seen all this be exposed. And that's why I can't take any notions of, we're fighting for the Kurds for freedom. It's like, freedom for what? Freedom for like, so that Chinese money just tells you what you can say ultimately. And like it's like, what freedom are you fighting for? You know what I mean? Like there is no God, king, and country in China.
That's right.
Yeah, and oh yeah, and then the motivational speaker thing. It's funny you should mention that because another one is Tony Robbins. You know what I mean? It's like we all liked him, right? Yeah, and he used to brag about, and I think it's a great thing to brag about. But you fed the homeless in L.A., and now there's 10 times more homeless in L.A. And has anybody asked you like Tony Robbins? You're a motivational speaker. You inspired us, and now we're living in pods. And you go, do you have anything to say? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
what I mean?
Yeah, I see where you're coming from. I mean, these people, they're doing these things. A lot of times it's just kind of for optics, how it looks, but is it really going to work? Is it actually going to help? Maybe not so much.
Yeah, and then I think the guy who looks the smartest to me is James Harden. It's like you get asked with a question from CNN, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And he just keeps his mouth shut and just looks.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, what do you mean? What do I have to say? It's like I think that spoke more, like you said, to remain silent. And you said it in your video. It says more than anything else. What do you think I'm going to say here?
Right. What can you say in that particular moment? It's like nothing you can say would help you at all. Like, you're here to play basketball. That's it. You're not involved with all this SJW stuff like LeBron is. You're not trying to be Martin Luther King. You're here to play basketball, and that's it. That's all. So keep your mouth shut. And you're in China. You don't want to mess around and get kidnapped or anything like that. Just keep cool and go back to the United States and get back to work. Keep playing basketball. But I got to cut you right there because I got a lot of calls on the line.
Thanks for taking my call, sir.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Bye.
Thank you to my man Mark for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. Yeah, James Harden, he knows what time it is. It's like, look, I'm not trying to be like LeBron, sticking my nose in the stuff and trying to be SJW, all this, that, and the third. I'm here to play basketball, and that's it. Thank you to my man Mark for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. Shout out to the Super Chatters. I'll read you guys right quick. Thank you to Boat Like a Leopard, who says, great show, heart emoji, how you and Sue Bird are friends despite all. Yeah, shout out to Sue Bird, wink, wink for the call. Most certainly appreciate them. I don't want to say the wrong gender name, but we'll digress. Thank you to LeBron Jean, who says, thank you so much for the gift of listening to each other while we're still able to. ABL, these days are numbered. Well, thank you for your very kind words and your donation. I definitely appreciate you. Thank you to Julie Nelson, who says, why are so many police chiefs acting so stupid? Do they want their departments to implode? I can't believe how poorly they are acting. That's a very good question. I thank you for your donation. I definitely appreciate you. I think you're referring to the police chief that was talking about, things like this happen. I understand why the community loses faith in the police, that kind of thing. I get it 100%. But thank you for your donation and your kind words. Let me see. Let me get to my next call here. All right. I had one I wanted to answer. I'm waiting till they call back. Let's go to. Okay. Hold on here. Let's go to. All right, call you on the line. 617. Who am I speaking to?
Yeah, it's Ivan, man.
Ivan, what's going on, man?
You still got those crazy callers, man. I would like to know how many homeless that guy has fed. He complained about Tony Robbins. How many homeless that guy has fed?
I mean, maybe feeding the homeless isn't necessarily the best thing to do.
Yeah, but how he has helped? Tony Robbins has helped, but how has he helped people?
I don't know, man. You got to ask him. I'm not a spokesperson.
Yeah, but just bashing people but not doing anything about it.
But you don't know if he has done anything. You don't really know that. You're making an assumption.
That's the great society we have. Number two, when you're talking about LeBron James, well, that's a problem in China. That's not a problem in America. He has stood up for issues here in America, but that's in China.
But wait a minute. He said, hold on. He said an injustice anywhere is an injustice everywhere. Does that only mean America?
Well, but you got to understand, China has different rules when it comes to the government. You want to go and messed up and then get arrested, get in some sort of trouble because you're speaking against the government. You can't talk against the government in China.
He said an injustice.
Like I just explained to you. This guy is not some sort of educator in that way when it comes to their politics. So he's just giving his opinion.
But you can say whatever you want in the United States. You won't get arrested by China and the United States when you say stuff.
Yeah, he won't get arrested in the United States, but that's if he goes to China, he could get into trouble by saying that.
Well, he can just not go to China. He can just not go to China.
The guy is fake. The guy stood up for police brutality. The guy stood up for
but not in China though. But not in China. He says
in America.
Wait.
Where does he live?
He said an injustice anywhere out of his.
I'm asking you, where does he live? In America and the United States? In China?
It don't matter where he lives because he said an injustice anywhere.
Okay, so
anywhere. Anywhere does not just mean, sir. Listen, we got to be able to. I got to put you on mute for a moment. We got to be able just to get down to the bottom of this. Does anywhere just mean America, or does it mean anywhere in the world? I just want to know that so I can just.
That's his opinion. He gives his opinion.
No. The question was, sir. Listen. The question was, does an injustice anywhere mean just America, or does it mean the entire world?
Everywhere in the world.
Huh?
That's his opinion. He gave his opinion. He cannot say.
Sir, I'm asking you a question. I'm not asking you what LeBron James said. Sir. You have to answer the question, and then you can move on. You can't squirm out of it. You can't try to change the topic, sir. See, when you're talking and I'm talking at the same time, nobody can hear you. You know how that works. So again, one last time, and then we'll move on to the next thing. If you can't answer, then I know why I'm correct. When he says an injustice anywhere is an injustice everywhere, does everywhere just mean the USA, or does it mean the entire world? Which one? You tell me.
He's saying the entire world.
Okay, but you don't want to speak about it when it comes to China, so that must not be right then, huh? I got you. Let's move on to the next topic.
Look, he won't be able to say the word. I already told you. How many times do you talk in your show about against police brutality? Tell me.
Hey, that ain't my wave. I don't do that.
Oh, now this is not your way.
I don't, sir. Wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on. Wait a minute. I don't say on my show that an injustice anywhere is an injustice everywhere. If I talk about police brutality, it's in the sense of a news topic because I'm a news channel. I'm not an activist on liberal issues like LeBron James is. If you're going to be that, let's be that all the time, not just when it's convenient and it's easy to do.
Okay, I want to talk about that I'm on or
go ahead. You on.
Okay, well, let me talk about Biden and his son. Okay, you saying that Biden and his son, like I said, I don't believe it's ethical what he did. I don't believe that. But apparently, because you haven't followed politics for probably the last 2 years, you don't understand how it works. This thing happened with Cheney. This thing happened with Bush Senior helping Bush Junior. This thing happened. I think Jimmy Carter was one of the cleanest that I remember, and Obama. But this thing been happening for a long time, that pretty much they use their family members. I mean, Trump was the worst. He put his 2 daughters, he put his sons, but his son-in-law in position of power, and his daughter got how many trademarks? Hello?
I'm listening. Go ahead.
How many trademarks his daughter got from China? That he used his influence to get those trademarks, that she's making millions of dollars. Okay, what is his the son-in-law got $1 billion from Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, wasn't like that?
To do what?
So they got $1 billion loan, guarantee loan.
For what? What was the loan
business. For business.
What was the loan for specifically?
Same thing. Look it up. Look, I'm not gonna.
So, like, do you know?
The loan details. The loan details. I know I'm not gonna. But look it up.
Sir, the question was, sir. I'm asking the question, and when I start talking, nobody can hear you. Do you know what the loan was for specifically? You said business, but what specifically? Do you know? Yes or no?
It has to do with an oil company.
An oil company loan for business doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
So, like I said, look it up. Look for it. It was
so maybe the correct answer to my question is that you don't really know, but you need to find some more information. Then you can tell me. That's probably the correct answer.
His daughter got 200 trademarks, and don't you believe that his 2 sons are benefiting?
Well, I mean,
it's gonna come out.
Okay, so I got your point, sir. Hold on. I got your point. You talked long enough. So my question to you would be: Do you think that it's improper for Ivanka Trump to get those trademarks? Do you think it's improper for Jared Kushner to get their loan? Is that improper or unethical?
Every single president that put the family members, friends, or anybody to benefit from their position is unethical.
Okay, so if it's
before.
so if it's improper, then we should treat everybody that does it the same way and not treat. I got to finish what I'm saying. You can't just cut me off. When I talk, you can't talk. If it's improper for everybody to do it, then why is it only people like Trump and Trump Jr. that are getting investigated for the improper things? Why is it only them that are getting investigated for the improper things and not people like Joe Biden or George Bush, Dick Cheney, Barack Obama, or anyone else? Why is it just Trump?
They are not getting investigated for any deals. That's not true.
So Trump Jr. didn't get investigated for that phone call with the Russian person?
Well, of course, you making phone calls. They say that, oh, I got something for my father that you're gonna benefit for the election. Did you collaborate with another country?
He got a phone call. All he did was have a meeting about some adoption and stuff like that. They said it was.
No. The meeting was not about the. Oh, do you read the email that says, "Oh, we got some information that could benefit your father for the election. We got some information about Hillary that could benefit your father for the summer." Look it up.
But the actual meeting did not go like that.
That's what he said. That's what.
Sir, listen to what I'm saying. Was that how the meeting? Sir, listen to what I'm saying. Like when I'm talking, you got to stop. Is that how the meeting actually transpired? Is that what the meeting was actually about?
But that's what he said.
The question was that what the meeting was about? Yes or no? You got to answer the question.
If somebody send you an email,
sir, listen to what I'm saying. Was that what the meeting was about? I need a yes or no answer.
Children, don't you think the email should be different?
Sir, the answer to the question is a yes or a no. Which one?
Well, that's what he said.
Okay, so the answer to the question, since you don't want to say it, is no. The meeting was not about what the emails or whatever said. It wound up being about adoption. And if it's improper for, what's my man's name? Donald Trump Jr. to have that kind of meeting, then why is it not improper for the Democrats to contact the Ukrainians in 2018 to get dirt on Donald Trump?
The Democrats didn't contact the Ukrainians.
Yes, they did. 2008. Yes, they did. 2018.
Who contacted the Ukrainians? Tell me who named the names.
People in the Democratic Party. I don't know their names.
Who? You see, you don't even know their name. That's not true. The Democrats never contacted the Ukraine. I know the guy with the GPS that they have the information, and the guy was a former British intelligence. But that was a contractor did that. A contractor hired that person that have nothing to do with the links with Hillary and their campaign.
So through Hillary Clinton's campaign, the Democrats contacted Fusion GPS, and then they contacted.
They didn't contact it. They were contracted a company that do research.
And what was that company?
And this company contracted.
Sir, what was the company?
So that's not.
Sir,
true.
what was the company's name?
I can't remember from the top of my head.
The company's name, since you don't know, was Fusion GPS. Okay, so you got this outside company, you contacting them, and then they get Christopher Steele, this British intelligence officer. He gets information from the Russians to do whatever they did. Now, that's like a real slim degree of separation. If it were Donald Trump doing something like that, then it'd be, impeach him, send him to jail, the whole 9 yards.
That's different.
Oh, it's different, huh? Okay. It's different. Is it? Because it's Trump, it's different.
So why these people were lying? Why the guy Flynn was lying to meeting that he said he never met with the ambassador to remove sanctions from Russia? Why did he lie?
What happened?
Why Flynn was lying that he said they never met with the Russian ambassador? Why did he lie?
Well, I don't know.
Why Paul Manafort lied?
What did he lie about?
If this is true, as you say, the same thing happened
what did he lie about?
Why do they lie? The same thing happened with the telephone call.
Sir, what did he lie about?
Well, he called. He spoke with the president from Ukraine and told him, "Hey, I'm gonna hold this information, but I'm gonna hold it."
All right, but we got limited time. So what did he lie about? Get to the core of it.
That the telephone was perfect. that has nothing to do with that.
All right. So you're not answering the question. So thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you, as always. All right. Shout out to Ivan. Most certainly appreciate the call. And thank you all for joining. The number to call is 434-658-1220. If you want to get in through Skype, there is an email for that in the description box. You could be at the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. We can hear you and see you. Audio, video, all that good stuff. But let me get to my next call here. 918, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Trey. Hey.
All right, Trey, what's happening?
I want to talk about the NBA, Steve Kerr, especially Steve Kerr, because Steve Kerr has said some stuff that, I got issue with. He when the NFL was having an issue with Kaepernick, he talked about how the NFL is only about the bottom line, and we come to find out, the NBA is about the bottom line. But he also said something that wasn't true. He talked about how the NBA is so upstanding when it comes to issues like this. But have you ever heard of Abdul Rauf?
Yeah, Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf. I know exactly what you're talking about. I remember when that whole thing happened, and it's funny because Steve Kerr was talking about, or it might have been Mark Cuban too, but they were talking about how the NFL does not let their players express themselves, is that and the third, because of Colin Kaepernick not being in the league and how they want the guys to come out there and stand for the national anthem. But Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, aka Chris Jackson, had got banned and basically blackballed from the NBA from doing the same thing that Colin Kaepernick did. Basically, he became Muslim in the league and he would not stand for the anthem. And then they compromised with him so you could just pray during the anthem. But then that became distracting as well. So they pretty much banned him for life from the league. And he's still good. I saw him playing in the Big Three recently, and he was like Steph Curry before Steph Curry.
Yeah,
a great player.
He's a better basketball player than Colin Kaepernick was a football player.
100%. He was great. He was a really good player on the Nuggets with the Dikembe Mutombo back in the 90s. I remember him very well, and they banned him for that. And there's a rule in the books right now in the NBA that says you must stand for the national anthem. Maybe Steve Kerr and Mark Cuban didn't know that. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, the NFL doesn't have one. They don't have a rule for the national anthem because the guy that Colin Kaepernick played with is still kneeling.
That's right.
So they don't have one. So they talk about them in that situation. But Steve Kerr also, they talk about the tweet that Daryl Morey sent out.
Yeah.
On September the 27th, he sent out a pro Hong Kong tweet too.
Oh, okay.
Not only it was banging on. It was talking about multiple things. It's talking about multiple different countries. Israel, the England, talking about the Brexit, and it was talking about Hong Kong because they were talking about how fight. If you fight, you can fight against authority. I guess can't even say it, but you can fight against them. So it doesn't make any sense, but it says Hong Kong rise up and fight. It'll work. So he sent out a tweet for pro Hong Kong, and nobody's talking about that. That's almost a week before Daryl Morey even sent out a tweet.
Right.
So they're hypocrites. And LeBron, to me, the biggest thing he said was wrong was he talked about how uninformed Daryl Morey is, and then turns around and says he doesn't know anything about the situation. And I don't think Daryl Morey thought that was going to have that type of backlash. He would have he works with China, why, yada, yada, yada. But if Steve Kerr sent out a tweet a week before that, and it was just a tweet, you wouldn't think that type of backlash would happen.
Right. That's a good point.
Did you see Ilhan?
Now
allegedly,
allegedly, if people that don't know in the chat, allegedly, what was that after the Trump rally in Minneapolis?
Yeah.
Now, apparently, allegedly, Ilhan Omar and her boyfriend, the white guy that she paid a lot of money to, who she took from the lady's husband, they were out there in disguise protesting with everybody else. Now, it's alleged. I can't tell if that was them or not, but they had their mask on. It was covering most of their face. It showed their eyes, and it looked just like them. And then the guy white guy with the glasses. It was the same glasses, same eyes. It looked just like him.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if that was them.
Yeah, I saw somebody post a video of it, and it was just like, it's just a strange coincidence to see a guy that looked just like him and somebody that looked just like her. I don't know. It looked like it to me. I'm just gonna say allegedly.
That's
also,
right.
did you see AOC's little on climate change that she did? Her little thing where she talked about how she's from colonized people and was saying it's injustice and cried and everything.
I did not see that. I heard about her crying, but I didn't see where she shed the tears at. So I didn't see that one.
But I didn't understand why she was saying she was from colonized people. Isn't she like Puerto Rican?
Yeah, Puerto Rican.
So like her people are Spanish. So I don't get it's kind of weird to me. But anyway, thanks for taking my call, man.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right.
All right, shout out to the caller. I'm gonna look at this clip right here. Matter of fact, because I found it, and this is her. AOC. Hold on. Here's the headline. It says AOC near tears. My dreams of motherhood now taste bittersweet because of global warming. Let's check it out.
This note, I speak to you not as an elected official or public figure, but I speak to you as a human being. A woman whose dreams of motherhood now taste bittersweet because of what I know about our children's future. And that our actions are responsible for bringing their most dire possibilities into focus. I speak to you as a daughter and descendant of colonized peoples who have already begun to suffer. Just 2 years ago, one of the deadliest disasters in the United States struck in the form of Hurricane Maria. The climate change-powered storm killed over 3,000 Puerto Ricans, American citizens. My own grandfather died in the aftermath, all because they were living under colonial rule, which contributed to the dire conditions and lack of recovery.
Okay, now my question would be, how do you know that this is climate change fuel? I feel sorry for your granddad, of course. But how do you know it's climate change fuel? I mean, where you really getting that from? Like, there was no hurricanes that existed before the notion of climate change became a thing. Like, it's impossible for storms to happen, for rain to happen, because that's all it is, really. It's a big rainstorm with wind. That's all. And you're in an island right there in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. Of course, you're going to be vulnerable to it. So it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. How you going to say it's climate change fueled? And what are you talking about as far as a colonial system? I mean, would you rather Puerto Rico not have help from the United States? Because it'd be that same storm coming regardless of what. So, I mean, would you rather be sovereign and not have any help from a big country like the U.S.? It'd be even worse. But let's keep going.
This year, we saw Hurricane Dorian wreak similar ravage in the Bahamas. And that is not a coincidence. As many have noticed noted in an awful turn, the climate crisis's path is first impacting those who have not only contributed to our emissions the least, but have already suffered greatly in the global history of inequality, colonization, and imperialism.
Emissions? What are you talking about emissions? Like the United States, U.S. Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico, all of that combined, the United States and all of our territories combined are nothing compared to like even one of the big cities in China like Beijing. We're nothing, nowhere near compared to China or India. Those are the two biggest contributors to the carbon emissions. So why talk about the United States and colonial rule is that, and the third, talk about the biggest contributors to carbon emission. If carbon emission is a real thing, talk about them. Oh, that's right. I forgot. I'm wrong. I'm totally wrong. I apologize. I forgot that an injustice everywhere is not what it says in the quote. It's not really that. It's only about America. Okay. If it happens here and I think it's wrong, I could talk about it. If there's a cow farting or a car that's old and has a lot of gas or whatever coming from the exhaust, that's a problem. But talking about China, oh no, we can't do that. We got to leave China alone. They're good. Praise Chairman Xi Jinping. That's how it goes. I'm going to get right back into it.
stacking one injustice upon another.
See, look, didn't I predict the whole injustice thing? But see, look, the injustice doesn't make a difference unless it is in the USA, or if she thinks it's here. When it's over in China, nope. India, nope. Only here in the States.
It's everyone's loss too, and no person is insulated from this reality, because many of the people ravaged and marginalized in our current regimes, the lineages of farmers, indigenous peoples, and tightly knit communities, also have knowledge of many of the practices that are our solutions as well. So it is no secret that many of our scientific conclusions reinforce indigenous wisdom and practices cultivated over thousands of years. It is not.
Yeah, so that's pretty silly. You see me tweeting in real time right here with the laughing emojis. I'm gonna get back to the call. Thank y'all for joining. I definitely appreciate you guys. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Let me get right back into it. And let's go 910. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
This is Cedric, calling from North Carolina.
All righty, what's going on?
I just tuned in about 5 minutes or so, and I just wanted to call in and say that I don't think that the NFL, NBA, any of these sports associations like that is like a platform for political talk. Because sports is one thing that brings people together. If I support a team and this man beside me supports the same team, but he's a Democrat and I'm a Republican, I can't sit next to this man and cheer for the same team. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that it's just not the place for political talk of any kind. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, I'm with you. That's why I think that people like LeBron shouldn't be trying to use it as that.
Exactly. And as far as his statement goes about the gentleman being uneducated and all of that there, now this ain't a shot to people that hadn't gone to college and saying that they're not educated, but I mean, he went from high school straight to the NBA. You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on, yeah.
Exactly. That's what I was saying earlier. And then when he was in high school, I don't think that he was a super excellent student. He's focusing on basketball, and I can't really blame him because you can make plenty of money doing that. You got generational wealth. You're once in a lifetime talent. However, you're making a lot of money, but that does not make you some type of authority on these kind of issues. You don't really have the knowledge to even talk about it. Honestly, leave that to other people that know a little bit more than yourself.
Exactly. And as far as, his statement, another statement that he made, it's hard being a black man in America. Okay, you got millions of dollars. How is it hard on you? It's not hard on you. You can't, like you said, you're not the authority for the rest of us. If I have a situation being a regular person working and something fell on my behalf, well, guess what? I can handle it. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
I handle it and move on. You know what I'm saying? I don't blame anybody for what I do.
Exactly.
And nobody should do that,
That's right.
But I'm gonna leave that there, you know what I'm saying, and I'm gonna sit back and enjoy the rest of the show. I thank you for taking my call, brother.
I thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
All right, shout out to the caller. Great call. I appreciate him 100%. Shout out to Neil Covington, who says it's not about intelligence. It's about talking about something you're not feeling. Now it's getting called out. Yeah, I mean, my whole thing with LeBron is just the double standards. And the thing about liberals in general, they only operate on double standards. Without double standards, they would have no standards. You want to talk about an injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere, but it doesn't really count depending upon the circumstance. I think that's corny. If you're going to be one way all the time, not just when it's convenient for you to do so. But let me get to my next call. 502, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
This is Tim Quire.
All righty, what's going on?
Well, I've got one question about them liberal Democrats. I need to know, why are they trying to ban firearm rights that kills thousands of people per year, and not trying to ban abortion that kills hundreds of thousands of people per year?
That's a great question, but I think that they rationalize it in their brain by saying that a baby is not a baby. Once you really get to talk to them and see how they actually feel, they will say that a baby is nothing until it's born. It could be 8.5 months. Yeah.
A baby is a baby upon conception, right?
I agree. Yes.
Yes.
But see, in their mind, they've convinced themselves that a baby is nothing until it's born. It could be 9 months, full gestation, and until it actually becomes born, they'll say it's not even really a human being. And then sometimes they'll say even after it's born, it's not a human being. We saw that with the Virginia governor, Ralph Northam, talking about, well, when the baby is born, we can figure out what we're going to do afterwards. So they don't look at infants in gestation or shortly thereafter as human beings. And it's a problem that they have with themselves. The whole gun control thing, in my opinion, is just to gain control over the populace. It's not even about the human death. They couldn't care less about human death. They're more worried about
that is my statement.
Yeah,
they could care less, because if they cared, they would care about the abortions.
That's right. They don't care about death. They care about control.
Right. They're not caring about our American babies or our American people that's in jail, but yet they're the illegal immigrants. Now, I'm all for immigration if they do it right, because we all immigrated over here and done something, made better lives. But if they sneaking across that border, they breaking the United States law, so they need to be locked up.
That's right. 100%.
Yes.
Because if I go into somebody's house, I'm not supposed to be there. I didn't get permission. I broke in and did whatever I did. I can't, be like, hey, police, don't lock me up. I was just trying to find a better life for my family. Nah, they can be like, hands behind your back, so you're going to jail. So it should be the same thing for a person coming across the border illegally. Follow the laws that everybody else got to follow. You're not special because you're coming from a poor place.
Right. And then on the Social Security agreements they have, they go into our account and take out our money that we put in without our permission. Now, if we done that to one of their bank accounts, we would go to jail. So why would they not go to jail for taking it from us?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yes. But I couldn't get those questions out there until I found your show. So I appreciate you, and I appreciate your show. So now the questions are out there, and maybe they'll get scattered around somewhere. I don't know.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I thank you for the call. I definitely appreciate you.
And you have a great night.
All right, now, same to you.
Bye-bye.
All right, shout out to the caller. Most certainly appreciate him. And thank you all for joining. I appreciate you guys. The number to call is 434-658-1220. If you want to call in through Skype, there's an email for that in the description box. You can be right here in the bottom left-hand corner. But let me go ahead and get to my next call, and that will be 740. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Yeah, Charles from Ohio.
All righty, Charles. What's going on?
Is this Anthony?
You're speaking to him live and direct.
Yes. All right. Having a good time. Hey, I was calling about a couple things. I'll just start with the NBA.
All right.
My understanding is, correct me if I'm wrong, is Nike pretty much owns the NBA, right? From my understanding,
they pretty much dominate it, control it, because all of the jerseys, most of the shoes, even the shoes that are not player specific, it's all Nike. It's all Nike, 100%.
Right, and one of the largest, if I understand my stats correctly, like 37% of the shoes are made in China.
I would say it's more than that. I mean, I'm not really sure where else it'll be made. They're not made here in the States.
So you kind of see where I'm leading to on that, right?
Yeah.
So if Nike owns the NBA and that China is like the big manufacturer of the shoes, you can see potentially why, when all the money's involved and everything with that, why we got this big, as you would say, kerfuffle, right?
That's right. It's too much money involved, because not only Nike, which is controlled by China basically because everything's made in China, but also because of the NBA viewership market in China. I was reading this study, or this article, pardon me, that said that there's 300 million people in China that have played at least one game of basketball before. No, pardon me. 300 million have watched at least one NBA game. 300 million is almost the equivalent to our total population, man, woman, child. 500 million people have played basketball at least once. So that's a lot of people and a lot of money. Streaming rights. It's so much money to be made over there. You're talking about billions. So when you're talking about upsetting that and messing up the gravy train, they're not going to have it. You could say things here in the States where you have freedom, but in China where there is no freedom really, no, you can't do that.
Right.
Messing up the money.
I hear you. I hear you loud and clear. And it's basically, for what you're seeing, is an extension of China to the voices of the players. You see what I'm saying? So, because they're controlling, saying, hey, we can pitch you. And so that's an extension of communism into the United States. And that's just one of many areas. But the other thing, I'll go back, since I've seen, this Ohio debate, Dallas shooting and all that. And the other thing, one thing I was watching, because I've been watching it for a while now, and by the way, I just want to give a shout out. I appreciate you very much. I enjoy your videos. I'm glad you're still on YouTube and they ain't punked you out or nothing like that. And whenever I get a chance, I get to jump on here. But the other thing is on this climate change thing, and I'm going to be telling my age, but when I was in grade school, it was all about the ice age, man. And I was fearful. I was like, gosh, we're going to freeze here, man, on the ice age. And this is back in late 60s. But my thing is, so what happens if, we do all this stuff for climate change and we overdo it so much that now we got to worry about the ice age because we overdid it on trying to save it from the global. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a cycle. And one thing I want to add to that, with that, because we're speaking about China, is from my understanding of the stats, I mean, we put out like maybe 10% of pollution and between China and the U.S., but yet they're going to make it accountable us to say, hey, we got to pay for this, right? And no, we're not pointing the finger at China as a big polluter like we should be. And lastly, and then I'll let you talk, is on the AMP Fest. You never really got to see much of that on mainstream media. A lot of that got curtailed. You got to really dig to look that up, or if they showed a segment of something. And so I had to actually check it out and look for it to see the whole thing. So it wasn't, it's just goes right in tie with the CNN bust on Mr. Jeff about, hey, we got to just constantly shoot on this, impeach Trump deal and constantly go nonstop every single day. And that's what the debate was about. But I'll tell you something about on the Ohio debate. Every one of those contenders, they all looked scared, intimidated, and they wanted to throw out whatever words they could just to try to get some kind of a reaction and applause, because the competition is so heavy. But they all look scared.
Yeah, I agree with you on that for sure, because they don't want to say the wrong thing. They're trying to get some traction. They're trying to overtake, at this point, Elizabeth Warren. Yeah, they all look scared. They can't really say anything. And one thing I wouldn't want is a fearful leader. If you're out there on stage and you can't even, assert yourself and have some type of courage, how are you going to be able to lead a nation? It doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Thank you. I love your wordage, your assertion, to be bold and show that you have a little bit of high-end integrity. And every time I see Trump, he pretty much does that. He's relaxed about that. And these other contenders on the Democratic Party, they just, their personality, their persona, the whole spirit about them is just like, hey, did I say that okay? Can I get you know what I mean?
Right.
It's just crazy. So they're going to have to do something different.
Exactly. I agree.
If they even want to come close to competing. But listen, Anthony, thank you so much for taking my phone call. I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you for the call. I definitely appreciate you. All right. Shout out to the caller. Most certainly appreciate him. All righty. And you guys are doing great tonight. Really enjoying the show. A lot of great callers. And the chat is great as well. I wanted to read one comment here I saw about China. This is from Dennis, who says, talking about manufacturing shoes, I guess, with Nike. It said 36. He said 36% for China, 36% for Vietnam. Indonesia makes 22%, and Thailand is 6% for all Nike shoes. Now, see the thing about Vietnam, Indonesia. One thing they have in common is their proximity to China, especially Vietnam. Vietnam is pretty much dominated by China. It's right there, South China Sea, all that kind of stuff. Same thing with Indonesia to a certain extent. So that all of that area really is dominated by China. China is the big dog. Philippines to a certain extent as well. They call that's like Southeast Asia. They call that area ASEAN. It's pretty much dominated by China. It's not as bad as Africa being dominated by China, but that's a whole different story. But China's like the parent. It's like China is to Vietnam as the US is to Mexico. But not even that. We're trying to be more, we're trying to like not have them be so dependent on us. We're not really trying to have them be part of us, but China's trying to like have Vietnam be part of them to a certain extent. That's why they dominate the South China Sea right now. They're building islands all the way out to almost Malaysia because they're trying to dominate the whole little region right there in multiple ways. Airspace, water space, the whole 9 yards. In a new Silk Road. But I digress. Let's get back to some calls. And thank y'all for being here. Most certainly appreciate it. Please hit the thumbs up button on the video if you like what you're hearing so far. I'd appreciate it a whole lot. Let me get to my next call. 702, you online. I'm speaking to.
Hey, it's Robert in Vegas.
All righty, what's going on?
Oh man, I was just listening to the show tonight, and I want to talk about a few things I was thinking about. You were just talking about China and the South China Sea.
Yeah.
Yeah, all those countries down in there are complaining about the Chinese fishing boats just taking all the fish.
Oh yeah, I mean they've pretty much claimed that, and it's gotten to the point now where you got to ask China for permission to get to your own fishing waters that are naturally yours. They're violating all kind of international law. They don't care. It's like, what are you really going to do about it?
Yep. And the same thing is happening in the EU. They did the same thing to Britain. Put a bunch of British fishing companies out of business because the EU says all the fishing rights around Great Britain belong to the EU.
Oh, I see.
Same thing. Yep. Also, hey, did you hear about the 7 Brits that got busted for crossing the border illegally?
Wait, and to U.S.?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. No, I didn't hear about that.
Oh yeah, they came in. They came across the Canadian border. They were driving along the border and then sort of made a wrong turn and just happened to end up in the U.S.
Yeah, I saw that. And then they had a baby with them, and they've been like detained for days. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, man, I thought we didn't do that with white people.
I thought the Canadian border was wide open. You could do whatever you want. You can just go up there. Apparently not.
Yeah, I guess they do have some kind of border patrol up there.
That's right.
Hey, okay, and then we'll shoot on to nepotism. Hey, well, we know that the Democrats, there's no such thing as nepotism for them because didn't Kennedy hire his own brother as Attorney General?
Did he? I don't know if he did.
Robert Kennedy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he hired his own brother as Attorney General to go after the mob that helped him get elected.
Wow.
But why did he get shot?
Yeah. That's a good point. Good question.
I don't know why would the mob get mad at him? I don't know. Yeah, and the last one, AOC. What an idiot. Hey, ever hear about the Galveston hurricane at September 8th, 1900?
Oh, yeah. There's been plenty of hurricanes all throughout history. I mean, coming from Virginia, that like Virginia Beach area, I've been hearing about hurricanes that have formed like geographic features that have been there for 200, 300 years. Like Willoughby Spit, which is right there on the tunnel. I mean, these hurricanes have been going on for a very long time. It's not anything new.
Right.
So that tearful performance, quote unquote, tearful performance, I'm not buying at all.
No. But yeah, between 8,000 and 12,000 people were killed in that one.
Wow.
And that's when Galveston was a tiny little town. So basically, it wiped out almost the entire city.
Right. Yep.
And and I'm like, and what's she talking about? If you're in the Caribbean, man, you're ground zero for hurricane.
Oh yeah, you're right there. Like you have no protection. I mean, you're going to have some weather that hits you. That's just natural. I mean, you really are in a tropical area because how south you are. You're close to the equator. You're right in the line of it. It just that's why people, when you live on the coast or you live anywhere close to any kind of river that might be kind of get fed by the ocean, you're gonna have problems with flooding, with storms. That's just part of it.
Yep. Or what about over in the South China, or not South China Sea, but a little bit further south down around the Philippines, when they get typhoons, indigenous people just disappear. Whole islands just disappear.
Yep.
They go back to islands and they're just basically sandblasted clean. You can't tell that there were any people there at all.
Yeah, everything is gone because the water is so powerful, it gets totally just enveloped. What are you really going to do? That's just a natural thing for these small islands, and when there's no protection, especially when it's flat and there's no mountainous region, there's no height to it, you have no protection at all.
Yeah, I mean that's why Florida gets hit so bad, because they're like an inch above sea level.
Pretty much, right? Yeah.
Okay, AOC.
Oh no.
Oh, sorry about that, ABL. You got those initials going on. Hey, you have a great night.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Bye-bye.
All right. Shout out to my man for the call. I most certainly appreciate him. All right. Let me get to my next call here. 732, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
You're speaking to Nicholas.
All righty. What's going on?
Hey, Nicholas, man. Or actually, ABL. Hey, man. Hey, I'm trying to talk to you about the false accusations that are going on about not just sexual harassment, sexual assault, but also about the interracial stuff that's going on in the world, especially in the United States. Juicy Smollett, you got Chappelle's talking about it and stuff like that. But where are we stand on that? Or are we trying to get the same imprisonment for the accusations as for the, if it's not true, what's going on?
Like, what do you mean? Like, should we push for more time for those that falsely accuse?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. But see, I just don't understand how some of these things plan out. Well, I do understand. One thing about Juicy Smollett is that he's politically connected. He has the Obamas in his back pocket, indirectly, of course, because it was one lady
I'm feeling it.
Yeah, it was one lady that worked in the White House. She knows Juicy and his sister Journey. They're Hollywood stars. Well, Journey definitely is. Not so much Juicy Smollett, but Journey's a big time Hollywood star. So they know the Obamas. They're trying to get some strings pulled, do some favors, typical, old school corrupt Chicago stuff. And it doesn't help. It doesn't hurt that he's a celebrity, and the sister is too, and the whole family are celebrities. And they go pretty deep in politics. So that's just some corruption happening. But as far as anybody else, just regular normies that accuse somebody of a thing that's not true, I think there should be some regulation put on the books for this kind of thing, because it seems to be really popular right now in a day and age of social media where you're able to get information out there very quickly, very easily. Back in the day, a lot of these things would never see the light of day because you could control the information spread easier. But now it's no journalistic integrity. Social media is out there. You could put anything and people's lives get ruined as a result. So there should be some new legislation to fight against these false allegations.
Exactly. And not only that, but when these people come out with these accusations, that's heavy artillery. They're firing that off. And then when there's a retraction, it's like a blank shot. It's coming out of a starter pistol where it doesn't have any real ramifications. So the initial shot is earlier you were talking about nuclear firearms. You know, that's the initial shot, is that nuclear firearm, and then after the fact, it's a starter pistol.
That's right. Yep.
So that's what I'm trying to find out, if anybody out there is finding out whether or not there going to be some ramifications for these people putting these accusations out there that have no backing, no evidence, anything like that.
Right. I mean, that's a good question. I'm right there with you.
Hey man, I appreciate you taking your time to talk to me. I love your show. I like it every time I talk to you, and I'm going to continue to do that.
All right. Well, thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. Bye.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Most certainly appreciate him. The number to call is 434-658-1220. And if you are just now joining the stream, please like the video. Give me a thumbs up on that. And if you are not subscribed already, I don't know what you're doing. Subscribe right now and click that bell right there beside the subscribe button so you get notified whenever I go live or post a new video on the channel. All right, let's go. 720, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to? 720, you're on the line. All right, I wait for 720 because it might have been 720. I can't hear you if you're talking.
Hello.
720, what's going on? All right. We don't got no time to be playing no games. If you know, well, he might not know what's going on. I gotta say this: if you're calling in, have your ear to the phone because there is a delay. You cannot watch the stream and try to talk to me that way. It was not going to work. It's a delay. But let me get to my next call. Nolo King, what's happening?
Hey man, not much. How are you doing?
Everything's good, man. Can't complain.
Yeah, I got my vote on the advanced polling. So let's see what happens.
So you got your poll. What happened?
The advanced polling. I voted in Canada.
Oh, okay. All right.
See, and here's the thing. You guys, you laugh about the Democratic debates, right?
Yeah.
Like how silly they are. But in Canada, that's all we have, right? Everybody, all the politicians are left-leaning. And so Joe Biden would be the equivalent of the Conservative Party. So those are our options, man. It's terrible.
That's terrible. That's awful. Like, are there no conservatives in Canada?
They are, but there are certain issues like abortion you don't touch, unions you don't touch, right? So it comes down to one guy's gonna plant less trees, or he's gonna cut this, right? There's no social conservatives anymore.
I see.
There's one guy, Bernier, who I thought about voting for, but then I started to see that he's actually pro-abortion, and just the way he conducted himself in the debates, he came across as a beta male, trying really hard to get the spotlight. Like, Trump, he demands the attention, right? He doesn't have to try so hard. And this Bernier guy was cutting people off and going on. And he keeps campaigning about immigration. People in Canada don't care about immigration. I think we have a better immigration system than you guys. It's much more strict. So for him to campaign on that was very silly. That's all he focused on. He came across like Yang, just having that one gimmick, and it becomes tedious.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense because, immigration, that's not really an issue. Like, there's no Mexico to the southern border. That's not, it's a whole different ball of wax up there. So, yeah. Yeah,
like my girlfriend, she had a really difficult time getting her permanent residency. That's why it makes her so mad to see what's going on in the U.S. People just hopping in and getting all this money and all these benefits. It's ridiculous.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah. And the other thing I just wanted to talk about briefly is how crazy the newspaper is. Like, there was a front page article about a principal. They were calling him racist. So I said, "Oh, what could he possibly have said?" He was in a meeting, and the school is called Muck something, like Muck Riddle High School or something, and he called it Muck Criminal. I'm not even joking, man. That's front page news on one of the top newspapers here in Canada, saying he's racist. Because the school has a lot of brown and black people, and now it's a big scandal. I'm like, really?
Wow.
we've run out of things to complain about. This guy makes an off-color joke, and it's front page news.
Now, my question would be: is it a violent school? Does it have a lot of problems? Is it like is the name accurate?
Yeah, it's a ghetto school basically.
Okay, so it's like off-color joke and accurate. So I think the main thing should be trying to fix the school, get some of the violence toned down a little bit, rather than being mad at him.
Of course.
Yep.
Yeah, the standards are just very low for these kids, right? It's like, oh, you look like that, so it's the oppression. It's not because bad parenting or anything. People get mad at me when I say that. When I talk about the bad parenting and the lack of good role models, they say, oh, no, it's the oppressive forces. So
nah, ain't no oppression. If you got bad parenting, I mean, especially kids, if you come into school, you're acting out, you have a bad home life, and you're just learning what you're taking what you learn from your home area and inside your house to school, and same thing with everybody else. So you're gonna be fighting, you're gonna be cussing, might get a gun brought to school. I've been in schools like that, in the same city where it's majority black.
Yeah,
where I was living, you would see one school where it was like super ghetto, where everybody came from these bad houses with drugs and everything else, and then another school in the same city, majority black, would be much better. You got more dads in the house. You can see the change in how people are.
It's so true, man. That's why I'm surprised I didn't end up messed up. I didn't have that father figure, right? But I stayed away. It's probably because I didn't watch TV and I just played sports and hung out with the right people. But
yeah.
Anyway, my whole point of calling is just for you guys like out there. You gotta vote. I kind of want to move to U.S. if things keep going the way they are, because here there's no option, man. Like if someone like Biden is your best choice. It's disheartening, man. But
right.
As usual, great talking to you. I hope this shirt is not too flamboyant. It's glittery and stuff, but
it's all good, man.
Peace.
All right, peace. All right, thank you to my man No Lil King for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. Yeah, I've seen some bad things. Like I remember I went to this school. I was middle school, 7th grade. I said a story before, but I'll say it again. And I remember, I think I was in the 8th grade when this happened. A teacher came to school with a nose splint on. That's the best way I can describe it. It was like a splint on his nose, like his nose had been broken. And what I found out happened was a 6th grader punched him in the face with a combination lock on his knuckle. You understand? So the lock part was in his hand, and then the loop of the lock was over his knuckle like that, and he hit him in the face, broke his nose. This man had to have been in his 50s, at least late 40s, probably like 51, 52. Broken nose from a 6th grader, an 11-year-old boy, broke all that. That's kind of how that school was. Gladiator, I've seen all kind of stuff. And these kids coming straight from the ghetto. And a lot of them, matter of fact, if you ever seen this show called Beyond Scared Straight, I seen some of them in that show, but that's a different story, so I digress. Let's get back to the calls. All right, let's see if this person right here can get themselves together. 720, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Rapper 10,000. What up, man?
Rapper 10,000, what's going on? Good to hear you.
Hey, man, so I had a question for you. Hey, so you believe that a business should have the right to decide what person, should be allowed to come in their business, right? I mean, they can discriminate against whoever.
Absolutely, yes.
All right, but you got to think about it, man. Like, that's not right, because if you think about it, a lot of these people, they pay taxes too. And if I'm paying taxes for like the roads that lead up to your business, and and then you tell me I can't come in, when it's the people that pay taxes that help these businesses. Because if it wasn't for us, how you gonna get to their business?
Well, I mean, that same argument could be used about somebody's private house. Because, I mean, when you pay for your house, your mortgage, your rent, you're not paying for the roads outside. That's public money. So, there's roads leading up to your house that are paid from public money. That I can just come in your house whenever I want to. I have to ask permission to come in. It should be the same thing for a private business. Now, if you're publicly funded directly as a business, like if it's a government business, like, a DMV or something like that, you must service me because I'm directly paying for your salary and for this business.
Yeah, you right. Hey, man, I just want to let you know you're doing a great job, and I'm a big fan, and I just want to let you know, keep up the good work, and you keep doing your thing, all right, man?
All right, thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, man. Rapper 10,000. I'm out.
But so, the Rapper 10,000 says, that's not me. It says a troll call. So, hey, whoever that was, thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate it. That wasn't even a really, a good troll call. That was a question that I could hear getting asked by somebody that is not really familiar with politics. Counterfeit 10,000. Shout out to whoever that was, and shout out to the real Rapper 10,000. All right, let's. Somebody's calling right now, but I can only have one call per night per caller. You understand? But thank you for calling in. I most certainly appreciate it. What grades in my middle school have? 6, 7, and 8. Yeah, 6, 7, and 8. It was a quote unquote magnet school. That was I might do a video about that specifically. I got some video from this school, like on VHS when we built this plane. I might put that in the book actually, because that's a whole long story right there, how that whole thing happened. Shout out to my man Carl's Opinion, who says, "Hey, Mr. Logan, mods and chat. Hey, thank you for your donation and your support as always. I most certainly appreciate you." But let me go ahead and get to my next call that I didn't get to in time because I didn't press the button quick enough. Let me see. All right, let's go. All right, caller, you on the line. 737, who am I speaking to?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, welcome you aboard. It's again Luciano Casanova from Texas. It's been almost 2 months since I made a call. Got a lot of things to get on my chest. First off, I want to say it was my birthday on Friday. I turned 18, meaning I can finally register to vote. But wait, before I register to vote, I gotta get that U.S. citizenship. My ceremony is coming next month. Who wants to celebrate?
Hey, congratulations, man. Congratulations. Hey, I'm glad to hear it. You're doing things the right way. Congratulations.
Mm-hmm. Can't wait to register as a Republican. I don't care if people hate my guts. Fuck it. I'm sorry for cussing, but I'm gonna go the hard route. If I'm not gonna I'm gonna stop being closeted. I'm gonna try to, okay? When you're closeted, it makes it harder to actually align with other conservatives. Now, I don't consider myself a hardcore conservative. I'm more of an anti-establishment type of conservative, if you get what I mean.
Oh, definitely. I'm with you.
So yeah. So let's start off with a story. Did anyone tell you about this autistic 5-year-old boy who got convicted as a sex offender? And what's your take on that?
Now, I heard something about that, but actually that happened here in Chattanooga, actually. Now, it's conflicting stories. What happened was, I think the boy had autism, and he was doing something that was just kind of strange. He was reprimanded for it, but the sexual, the sexual predator thing, I'm not sure that was actually true. It was just kind of a weird situation that happened. I've not heard any follow up on that, but the initial story that came out, the school said was not 100% true. So I don't have all the info on that, but the original story might not have been all the way right.
Okay. I'm sorry. And, my take is, I think, first off, the kid is autistic. Look, I'm also autistic, and while some of the symptoms may have faded away, let me tell you something. We do have some trouble with boundaries. Even the most high-functioning of autists have that.
Yeah.
Give him a slack. Like, what's the point of convicting him as a sex offender? It's only going to ruin his reputation, and it's probably going to lead to more discrimination towards him as an autistic individual. Second, maybe talk to the girls. Maybe why don't the girls just have a talk with him? Tell him, hey, can you not do this hug to me again? Use the most, I guess, sensory of language.
Yeah.
Why put him in a sex offender list? But then we have a bunch of female teachers raping our students later. Doesn't that sound biased?
Yeah, like I said, I think the whole thing about sex offender, I think that might not have been true. But even if it is, that shouldn't be the case. 5 years old, you don't even really know what's going on. with that. Like you're not even understanding what you're doing at that age. So yeah, that shouldn't be the case. I think there should be just some investigation into what's happening with the boy. He could be having some problems at home. You never know what's going on. So he definitely should not be tried for no crime or anything like that. I think it should be a matter of just figuring out what's going on and getting to the bottom of it and fixing it right now before anything else happens, or if he gets older and then it progresses into a worse thing.
Okay. All right. Let's get to my next thing I want to get out of my chest. So I saw this video from PragerU. Do you follow PragerU anywhere? Instagram, YouTube, Facebook?
Yes.
Any media outlets? Okay. I saw this interesting take from it's one of their commentators, and they made this an interesting observation. Kids today are the first generation to have a darker view than their adult counterparts. And they were like, what are we doing to our children, blah, blah, blah. But would you blame the establishment over here, or would you blame the technology, like the information technology we're giving our kids? Because you got to admit, especially after the Greta Thunberg situation, I don't know, how are kids so concerned about the environment, yet not even doing anything to take action? Do you think maybe we should stop using our kids as political tools before it gets even worse? Because, see, I'm all for kids being into politics, whatever. But I'm against kids being used to propagate propaganda, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, man, I understand. I think kids should be able to make their own mind up when it comes to politics. I don't think things should be forced upon them politically to pick one way or the other. I think they should be able to, grow up and develop their opinions that way. And of course, at a certain point, you got to have parents that are guiding the kids properly, but it can't be this whole thing of, forcing certain things to make them do. I think that give them a little bit of freedom, but not too much. Raise them, but don't just, force them to be one particular way. And people like Greta Thunberg, it's really unfortunate what's happening. There's clearly some manipulation happening. And then she has mental issues, depression and stuff like that. So it's just really unfortunate. I'm not really sure what can be done to prevent this thing from happening. But children should definitely be kind of left alone in these situations.
Right. The thing is, I think we're giving our children way too much dark information. And, there should be a balance. I don't want our children to be too over-sheltered, but I don't want our children to be, constantly overthinking the negatives of the world, if you know what I mean. I'm all for youth agency, and believe it or not, I'm interested in youth agency. Is one of my things that I'm kind of interested right now. Like, I'm all for promoting youth agency and the ability for children to discover their own path without any influence from their mentors. But even then, the left is just as hypocritical on this. The left doesn't care about youth agency or youth autonomy. Oh no, they want children to think a certain way just as much as they keep saying that the right is good at doing that. For instance, the left. Here's the argument from the left. Have you heard about it? The argument being that the right uses children for religious and patriotism, right? For religious reasons and patriotism. But isn't that a little ironic considering what the left is doing?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, if you're all for youth agency autonomy, then I would say keep a nurtured and a neutral environment within your children. Don't force them into anything. None of this social justice crap. It's whatever. So
no doubt,
we
man.
do want to get your talk. All right, man. Thanks for taking my call. It was great to be this red pill.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Keep fighting the good fight.
Will do. All right. Shout out to my man for the call, and congrats on becoming a citizen. Hey, you're doing it the right way. I'm with it 100%. We need more like you. 304, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, man, this is Kurt Wagner.
All righty. What's going on?
This is Kurt Wagner, man. Why you got that flag in your ground, a 13 star? Man, what's wrong with you? Them was slave states. If you was alive back then, they'd have made your ass a slave.
Hold on, sir. No cursing on the show.
What's wrong with you, boy?
No cursing on the show, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll just be saying, man, like.
All right, okay. You want? Can I answer the question or no? Can I answer the question?
Yeah, answer the question, boy.
Okay, sir. Who are like? Don't look. Just do right. Just ask a question and be quiet. Don't all this boy, all that kind of stuff like that. Now, how you feel about the regular American flag?
It's alright. It's 50 states.
Okay. Now, what do the stripes represent in the flag?
The red is the blood. The white is.
Sir, what do the stripes represent? What do the stripes represent in the current American flag?
The 13 stripes, they represent the 13 colonies.
All right, but you're not mad about the regular flag, so why are you mad about the 1776 flag? It's the same thing. It represents the same exact thing. The same 13 states you're mad about. The same slave states you're mad about.
Because when the 50 states flag was created, that was created after the slavery. And
what?
The 13 colonies, that was when slavery happened. That's no different from the Confederate flag.
The 50 states flag is the same 13 stars flag because there was only 13 states at the time. More states got added as the years progressed. That's why you got 50 stars in the flag right now. It's the same exact flag. There's no difference.
You right. You right. Well, this Kurt Wagner. I'm signing out. Peace out, brother.
Like, what was that all about? Don't call this show drunk or high. Please don't. Like, okay. But shout out to everybody that is a good caller calling in the show. I appreciate you guys. And it's a little more than weed, Smith and Wesson. It's a little more than that. I'm thinking little cocaine, heroin mixed together. I don't know what's going on. But hey, man, kids, don't do drugs. Just see what you can do to yourself. And yeah, these flags are the same. There's no difference. Like these are the same flags, okay? That flag right there is the same as that one. The same 13 stripes, 13 colonies is whatever it represents. And the flag, the stars in the star field are 13 on this one because at the time there were 13 states. On that one, it's 50 because you have more states. Yeah, it's the same caller that was calling in. That was not a rapper 10,000. Yeah, it's some troll saying that. Yeah, that wasn't. I know that wasn't you, Kurt Wagner. Don't even worry about it. That was just some random person calling from a different number. But you know what? Trolls must really love the show. They're going through the whole trouble of creating a new number, creating a new name, and watching. And they watch because they know you guys' name. They know me. A troll is no more than just a closeted fan. But let me get to my next call. 828 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, Anthony. This is Janie from North Carolina. How are you?
I'm doing well. About yourself?
I'm doing good. Been listening to your show tonight, and you had some really good callers. And I just want to say I appreciate all that you do so that we do have a voice and we can speak out about things that are on our mind. But I watched part of the debate last night, and it was so boring. You know, I had to turn it off. But it looked like a new game show coming on called The Biggest Loser 2, or Who is the Weakest Link. But I think Trump won that debate. Didn't even have to show up and made it.
That's right.
But I was listening to a woman named Michelle on Deception Bites, and she had found on Twitter, it's called @Syrian Girl, and she was doing, the Syrian Girl was actually doing a podcast, and she was saying that that the U.S. media is lying to us all about being there in Syria. And she was saying that because Turkey is a NATO ally, those soldiers that were up there on the front line, they couldn't even fire. The Kurds could not fire over into the Turkish territory because of the U.S. soldiers there. That would be like the U.S. declaring a war with Turkey. Does that make sense?
It does make sense, yes.
And that all they were doing is, you know, babysitting all those ISIS fighters. You know, and Trump said, take them back, you know, take your prisoners back, because we're not spending no more money over here on this. But she said it's all propaganda is what they're showing. Now, I did see a video where this woman was holding up a dead baby, and she was just wailing and crying, and she had this baby in her arms, but you could see the baby's eyes blink, and the baby wasn't dead at all. And even the baby moved its head, and you're looking at it, and you're thinking, oh, my gosh. But, you know, if you didn't know better, you would think she was holding up a real baby. But then they had one where they had they showed where Turkey was bombing the Kurds there on the border there, and that it was actually ABC put that video out, and it actually was a gun range in Kentucky, that they had edited this clip and made it look like it was over in Syria, which it wasn't. But what else did I have? But she was saying that they were all so glad. Nobody ever wanted the United States over there to start with, but for the money to be made with the U.S. engaged in this conflict and the oil that's there on the bank. So I think that, you know, I'm behind our president. You know, he may not speak like everybody wants him to. You know, I don't either. I call it like I see it. But I really do think that we all ought to stand behind the president, because I think he knows. And if you think about it, it makes sense that we cannot bomb a NATO ally. So what are we there for? Too much money. And I just wanted to make a comment that I saw this week where they had saved 2,100 more children out in California from human trafficking. But we didn't hear it. You know, it's like not even Fox News, you know, put it on. And if it wasn't for people like you and Just Informed Talk and Michelle from Deception Box, we would never know the truth, because they spin everything that they can to mean something that it don't. And when I listened to Ivan, and Ivan was talking about Trump, said that somebody called, and if they said they had dirt on Hillary, that he would listen, but I think they chopped that up too. I think the question was asked to him, and he said, yeah, I might listen.
Right.
And if it was anything, then I would pass it on.
Exactly.
But of course, the media twisted that up to be like, oh yeah, he'd accept that call, and yeah, he would take everything they said. So that was about all I had wrote down today. And like I say, I appreciate you and other callers, and I think together we're going to win this 2020, and I really think the axe is coming down. I think it's going to be a lot of people with no jobs after next November. Maybe not even that long. But you have a great night, and I'll talk to you later.
Thank you for the call. I definitely appreciate you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right. Shout out to the caller. Excellent call, as always. And thank you all for being here. I most certainly appreciate you. We got about 15 minutes left. Thank you to Jay Evans for your super chat, who says, my daughter doesn't have two choices in life, martial arts and gun training. Well, those are some good choices. Those are some good things to get into. Thank you for your donation. I definitely appreciate you. Shout out to a Brazilian American patriotic soldier who says, ABL, find a Brazil steakhouse and try picanha and thank me. All right. I know I butchered that pronunciation of that particular food item, but I'm going to try it out. Yeah, so shout out to you. Thank you for your call, most certainly. I mean, your donation, most certainly appreciate it. Let me get to my next call here. 515, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to? 515. You know what's funny when you're trying to troll and your phone breaking up? Like, if you're going to troll, try not using an Obama phone. I did not hear one word you said. All I heard was, brr, 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 brr. Tighten your phone up, please, sir. But thank you for the call. Most certainly appreciate it. The number to call is 434-658-1220. If you have an Obama phone, please put that down and use a regular phone, maybe even a landline, so you can have a good connection. If you want to call and be a troll, get your trolling equipment together. Don't be left out here looking like an idiot by not being able to troll properly because you got your cell phone in the bottom of an ocean. Alrighty, but let me get to some more calls here. 202, you on the line. Who am I speaking to?
This is Joe. How you doing today?
Everything's great. How about yourself?
Oh, I can't complain. Living the dream, living in paradise. Hey, can you hear me okay?
Are you well?
So just wanted to say, hey, appreciate a lot. I really like a lot of the episodes. I really like that thing you say about wrapping it up with a nice bow on top, by the way. That's a lot of fun.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Just curious, very briefly, for your input. I don't know if you discussed this earlier. I got dialed in slightly late this evening, so I was just curious as to if you have any opinion on who you think is going to be the official contender in the primary to go against Donald Trump after yesterday's debate.
I'm looking at Pocahontas. I think she's going to be the main one. She's the front runner at this particular point in time. I think Bernie Sanders, the health problems, 78 years old, having a heart attack, you're not really going to be able to make it. Although he'll have the endorsement of AOC, it won't make a difference. Joe Biden is looking worse and worse every day. He was a front runner. The establishment wants him because he's able to raise the most money out of the ones that they see so far, but he's looking worse and worse every day. So I think it'd be Warren. And I don't know if anybody else is even close to her. I think everybody else is pretty much in fourth place.
Yeah, well, to be honest, I think in all seriousness, Elizabeth Warren kind of makes sense from that perspective, and that's specifically because if you look, everybody I know that's woke, quote unquote, their primary complaint is that they're sick of seeing old, rich white guys in office. So it kind of confused me as to why you see Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders, two old, rich white guys, at the top of the ballot. So, I mean, from a quote unquote woke perspective, at least Elizabeth Warren, it kind of makes sense in a humorous manner.
That's right, 100%, absolutely. And then some may believe the whole Native American thing, although the DNA test said like a fraction of a percent. Some may say, "Oh, nah, she's Native, so she's not even white," although she's clearly like somebody that came straight from Germany yesterday. But hey, some are gonna just jump through hoops and make that make sense in their mind as well. So I think she make the most sense out of the ones that have declared so far. But you may have a sneak contender come in there. I heard that Hillary Clinton might pop up out of the clear blue sky. Michelle Obama, it's possible because we still got some time before the primary, so anything can happen. Although I doubt it, it's possible.
I thought that Bill Burr put that best. With respect to Michelle Obama potentially running either this election or the next, with respect to that, I thought Bill Burr, the comedian, put it best when he said that, being the first lady is not qualified to be president. And for example, if you needed a plumber and the plumber's wife showed up and tried to do their job, you wouldn't necessarily want them to attempt to do so. So I thought he kind of put that best.
Yeah, I mean, that's a very good point. Absolutely.
Well, all right, ABL, I'll get out of your way since I know time is of the essence here. So thanks for taking my call. Really appreciate your time, sir.
All right, thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you. All right, shout out to the caller. Great call. And thank you all for joining. I definitely appreciate you. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Do not be afraid to call. Let me get to the next call here. 260, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, man.
All right, another troll. Let's get to another call. 470, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hello. Hey, Anthony, how you doing?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm good, Anthony. I ain't spoke to you in a month of Sundays, Anthony, but I'm here now.
That's
You
fantastic.
good, Anthony.
That's great. That's great.
I know it is. How you been, Anthony?
Everything is great over here. So what's going on? What's happening with you?
It's all good. I saw you at the White House, Anthony. What was you doing up there in the White House with that orange man, Anthony?
I was there for the Black Leadership Summit. We had hundreds of black people, black conservatives there. We had hundreds of black folks in the White House. Trump came out and spoke to us, and Mike Pence was there, Candace Owens, Terrence Williams. It was a fantastic event. We got treated like royalty. It was great.
Whatever, Anthony. I don't know why you be going up there to see that orange man. You talking about you just set up here and did all that, was treated like whatever, Anthony. You just love that orange man. But anywho, why you didn't come to Atlanta this weekend, Anthony?
What's going on in Atlanta?
You missed it last weekend. We had our gay pride parade, Anthony. It was just beautiful, Anthony. Rainbows everywhere, Anthony.
Hey, I don't have nothing to do with that, so you can have fun, but I'm good. I'm not gonna be going to no gay pride parade.
Whatever, Anthony. What's more better than just being proud of you and your love and who you love, Anthony?
Hey, don't put me in that. That's you and whatever you got, sir.
Excuse me, Anthony. Yes, ma'am, Anthony.
Oh, my fault. I'm sorry. I forgot.
You could have bought your girlfriend or whatever, and whatever. Y'all could have just been down here just being gay allies, Anthony. What's wrong with that?
Hey, I don't need to be an ally. I'm good doing what I'm doing. I don't need to be involved in that whole situation.
Whatever, Anthony. Try to be friends with you, and you just don't even take it. But anywho. And what's this thing I saw you had on that Monday about that man that robbed the Dollar General store, Anthony?
Oh yeah, the guy robbed. He robs the store, and then the sister comes out and is mad because the store owner or the clerk shot and killed the person during the robbery, talking about, oh, don't bring a gun to work. You should gotta call the police. It's like, look, I don't care who you are. If you're robbing me with a gun and I feel like my life is in danger, I'm going to go ahead and shoot you before you shoot me. That's just a simple thing. But apparently,
excuse me.
What? What'd I say? I said something wrong?
I was almost offended, Anthony. But anywho, y'all with these guns, Anthony. Y'all just need to put them things down. Whatever, Anthony.
So I'm saying,
I saw with that video that you put up. Go ahead, Anthony.
So what happens if somebody pull a gun on you and you got a gun on you? What you gonna do?
Anthony, let me tell you something, Anthony. Let me get you straight on something, boo. Okay, boo? Just because I might be a tranny, boo, don't mean I ain't got nothing on me, boo. I keep that 380 on me, boo. I keep that 380. My boyfriend got his whatever that thing, that big gun with that mean-looking gun, but I keep my 380 somewhere on me, boo.
Hey, there you go.
I'm from the ATL, from the SWAT state, from the SWAT, boo.
There it is. I'm with it.
But in it. There you go. You step to this tranny, you might get got, boo. But anywho. And I also wanted to tell you, I saw that other video that you did when you was talking about the CNN, LGBTQ, ABCDEFGAEIOU, and all the times. Why summit, Anthony? Why would you do something like that?
Did you see it?
Lives matter, Anthony.
Did you see?
I saw your video and I watched it.
Did you see the person interrupting the lady, grabbing the microphone, getting all aggressive? It's like, what happened to all that feminine stuff? I saw a dude on stage getting super aggressive.
That was feminist, Anthony. That was a black woman standing up for her pride, Anthony.
Like a black man to me, raw testosterone. Like a black man to me.
Excuse me.
Whole lot of
misgendering people, Anthony.
Hey, all I saw was shoulders and testosterone all over the place. It was like somebody that, if you saw in a dark alley, would beat you down with their bare hands or no weapon.
Anthony, let me tell you something, boo. If anybody was in Atlanta and somebody tried to jump you, the one thing you want next to you is a tranny or a gay person, because number one, all we got to do is come out and say, throw that thing and pop that thing and let them know, boo, you mess with Anthony, you messing with me, boo. You don't mess with nobody gay in Atlanta, Anthony. This is gay city. MAGA, making Atlanta gay again, Anthony.
Wow. Okay. Whatever you say, you got it.
That's right, boo. But anyway, Anthony, I got to go, Anthony. I'm finna go out here down to the Bulldog. We just celebrate LGBTQ, ABCDEFGAEIOU, and all the times why. It's just 365 days a year, Anthony. We just celebrating down here, Anthony. So I'm finna go out here and help make Atlanta gay again. And I just wanted to tell you if you ever see your friend. Did you see your friend up there with you, Anthony? Was he up there with you?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You know, Anthony, you know who I'm talking about, Anthony. You know I'm talking about Kevin from Kevin's Corner.
Nah, I didn't see anybody. I didn't see them up there.
With that big burly beard.
All right. Look.
shiny
We
black bald
got
head.
family friendly now. Come on, tighten up. You have a good night. Thank you for the call.
Okay, and you didn't see
No. Look. We're not gonna do that. No. We're not gonna do that. You have a great night.
I can know what to do, Anthony, but okay, Anthony, I'm gonna let you go, Anthony.
All right, now. Thank you for the call.
Okay, Anthony, Brian, Logan, I see you next time, Anthony.
All right, bye. Wow, that call is crazy. I still have not figured out who that is. Calling up here, putting on that act as some ma'am. You know what? I wonder what their pronouns are. I just call him sir and just leave it at that. But I'm gonna get to one last call, then I wrap it on up, put a nice bow on the top, and I'm out. Now I want to know you're in the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, this is DJ from North Carolina. I heard you talking to a CJ from North Carolina earlier, and like what he had to say. And tell you what, I got to see a little bit of the BLS summit. That was good, and I noticed that we need to get some more black females into the leadership summit.
It was a lot of them there, actually. It was almost more than men, really.
I couldn't tell.
Yeah, I mean, just from me being there, it was a lot of women. A lot. It was, I would say, almost 60-40 women versus men. It was. I think it might have been almost more women than men there this time, for sure.
Okay,
I was surprised. Yeah,
because of the, like, speakers they had. You know, they had like Candace, and then a lot of male speakers. I didn't really. I looking at the. I did see some women in the audience, but not. I didn't know it was that many. But I guess it's just the way the camera views are, you know.
Yeah, I mean, and also it was more male speakers. I mean, there were some female speakers. You had Angela Stanton King. You had the Lieutenant Governor of Kentucky. I forget her name, and I forget who else. But you did have some female speakers. But in the audience, there were quite a few women. Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, then I saw where you made a video on showing, or someone put a video out that encapsulated the first day, the second day, the third day, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't. And the other thing was, I recognized Kevin's from Kevin's Corner, but there were some other people on there. I missed their names.
Wait,
that I would like to see. Yeah, I saw on some of the events when you were sitting there talking, and you were with Kevin's Corner and Kevin, and I didn't recognize some of the others. The Hayes brothers, I saw those.
Well, Kevin was not there.
I tried to write them down so I could, follow their programs too.
Yeah, Kevin was not there this year. So that might have been Isaiah Washington you saw with the hat when I was in the White House and the hat on the blue tie.
Was that? I saw you. Yeah. Well, you were in Kevin's. When was that?
You mean BLS like this year?
What was that? See, that's I might have got confused, or they used some old tapes from like the year before.
You may have seen Isaiah Washington because he kind of looks similar to Kevin because they got like the same kind of great goatee. He had on like a I got it on my screen right now. Matter of fact, yeah, that's an actor by the name of Isaiah Washington. That's not Kevin for Kevin's Corner. He was not there this year. But I can see how you get confused and say that it might be him. Hello, you there? Alrighty, I can't hear you, caller, if you're there. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you go. But thank you for the call. I definitely appreciate you. But yeah, BLS. I thought about it today. Matter of fact, because there were so many women at the actual conference, it was really surprising. Actually, matter of fact, Hold on, I'm gonna bring up one picture of me. This is, let me see. Let me go back to my Instagram page here. This picture, this is me and Angela Stanton King and Sharice Lane. You know, they were there. Angela Stanton King spoke at the event. You also had Deneen Borelli, Candace Owens, and the Lieutenant Governor of Kentucky that were female speakers. And Sharice, she'll be speaking pretty soon. She's still pretty young in college, but she'll be speaking very soon. I'm proud of her. Young Christian girl. I like what she has going on. A very good influence on social media, a lot of followers. She'll be up there on stage speaking very soon. But yeah, and there was a lot of people there. Matter of fact, hold on. I got some more pictures that I can show, but it's just so many pictures I took. 100. Let me see. All right. Okay, I got to go ahead and wrap it on up. Put a bow on the top. Thank y'all for joining. I appreciate you guys for being here. As always, I'll be back live yet again on Saturday, 8 to 11 p.m. Eastern Time. 100%. Yeah, of course, Candace was there. Absolutely. Rapper 10,000 says, were there a lot of black women that walked away from the Democrats? Yes. Yeah, everybody, almost everybody that was there, I say probably about 70 to 80% of people that were there at one point were Democrats and walked away and became conservatives rather recently. Absolutely. Yeah, that's pretty much the story of a lot of people there. But shout out to Thomas Breslin, who says, love the program, ABL. Well, thank you for your donation and your very kind words. I definitely appreciate it. Psalm 91 says, I love the back and forth between you and the ma'am caller. You got class, Mr. Logan. God bless, with the praying emojis. Thank you for your very kind words and donation. I definitely appreciate you. Can't nobody say that ABL is prejudice or whatever. If you want to call in with some humor or something like that, it's all good. Just don't call in trolling and add nothing to the conversation, making funny noises and stuff like that. You get hung up on ASAP. But that'd be a wrap for me. Thank y'all for joining. I appreciate you guys. I will be back, like I said, Saturday with another live show. And of course, I'm here basically every day, except maybe on Sundays with a pre-recorded show. If you guys have any ideas for topics I need to do or events that I should be covering, you can hit me up through my email address, contact@anthonyblogan.com. Pardon me, contact@anthonyblogan.com. Go to my website, anthonyblogan.com. Check it out there. What else I got? Oh, I got merchandise. Go to my website, anthonyblogan.com. Click on the shop button, or right below the video, there's merch right there. You can get this hat and many other hats. If you want these flags, look in the description box. There should be a link for the wooden flags. I got merch coming up. You guys may have seen that LeBron James and Chairman Mao mashup. If I can find it right quick, I'm gonna put it up on the screen. I might do this one or one without the dressings in the background. Hold on. I might do that one on the shirt. Or one that does not have dressings in the background and is just kind of plain. You know, it depends. But definitely the one with the George Jefferson, that type of thing going on with his hair. There's ones that have him just like on a plain background with the hat. There's ones that have him like this with a plain background. And then you got this one that has the money, you know, the yuan and the dollars with the pins. Those pins are hilarious. And a Nike sign. So that might be what I put on the shirt. A red shirt, of course, and the picture frame, 100%. LeBron James. Yep. Yeah, I'm gonna do a few shirts, but that one I gotta do that one just because. And if you guys know any Mandarin, like if you know how to write it appropriately, not just Google Translate, let me know, because I want to be able to put a caption underneath it. I'm not really sure what I put. Maybe I'll just put Chairman LeBron or something, you know. But that is all I got. So thank y'all for joining, and until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out, and peace.